Hey, what's good, fam? Kyle Henderson here with Trianity. Hey, got the victory cigars going on,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You got
Cheers.
feels good.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. Alabama about to close out this game. I'll take your calls in just a few minutes. Game's just about to end. A call in line at the bottom of your screen, 205-850-0883. We'll take your calls. I want to get your take on this game. Trey will be behind the scenes, but we had to get the young college man with the cigar, and he's out here, working for the people. Thank you so much for all your work today, Trey.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with us, keeping us company today. I feel like I'm Joe Burrow right now. That's my best
right?
Joe Burrow pose on the couch
Yeah,
after the 90.
He's posted up. So look, we'll jump right into it. Call line is open, 205-850-0883. And I'll take your calls. I want to talk about Alabama and Tennessee. There's a lot of storylines, but I think the biggest storyline, obviously, is Jalen Waddle, right? And, losing him for the entire season, I know that's a gigantic blow. And just like Austin's saying right here, pray for Jalen Waddle. And I think that's the most important thing. Anybody who gets an injury like that, a season-ending injury, and we'll definitely keep Jalen Waddle in our thoughts and prayers. Got some an opportunity to see Bryce Young in the later half, and thought he did well. I'm gonna actually let me get the screenshot right here of the stats, and then I'll bring this to you, and we'll kind of get all set up, and we'll be rolling right here on Bama Insider. So take your time, get your cigars, and we got our first call in just like that. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
My name is Luke Driver from West Point, Georgia.
All right, what's up, buddy? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your first name.
Luke.
Okay, go ahead, Luke. You're on, man, from Georgia. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm just gonna say is Alabama done a good game today. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide from Georgia. We appreciate it. Prayers obviously up for Jalen Waddle, but any other takeaways from today's game, buddy?
Nothing really, just that the defense need to get a little bit better.
Yeah, I think, we talked about that a little bit, about the defense kind of, trying to improve. And I think we saw some signs of it. There was some, you didn't see much of a pass rush. We need to see the pass rush improve, certainly.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kyle, if there's one thing, it's just putting some pressure on the quarterback. There wasn't one sack today from this Alabama defense, not even any pressure. You know, there wasn't any hurried throws. Guarantano is the kind of guy that folds under pressure, and, he folded today regardless. And credit to the secondary and this defense as a whole. But, you got to get that front in there and just create a little bit more pressure. They're coming along, though. Another improvement today, and I think something to build off of.
Anything else, buddy, while you got us early on the line?
No, sir.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and we'll catch up with you soon. But roll tide to you, and enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, so we already got the call-in show. And look, Trey has a few minutes to enjoy some calls, and we'll take our next caller just like that. And starting in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, man? It's Anthony from New York. What's going on, brother?
Anthony from New York. What's up, Anthony? Go ahead, man. Take it.
What's up, man? Yo, I'm seeing really good improvements on the defense. The only thing is just obviously what you guys touched on is pass rush. It's got to get consistent. And the other thing would be tackling the quarterback. I don't know what it is this year, but we seem to can't get the quarterback on the ground even when we get some type of pressure. Got to do a better job at that. It's the 5th game, I think, or 4th. I'm not too sure, so I don't really.
5th game. You're right. It's the 5th game of the season. You're right.
Yeah. So I don't really chalk it up too much more to the whole COVID thing and everything like that. We got to do a little bit better job than that. But other than that, on the defensive side of the ball, see really good improvements. The secondary, Patrick Surtain is the real deal. He took that step like I hoped he would, because the previous few years he really was just a little stagnant as far as taking that next step. But he's locked down over there. Obviously, the big loss to Waddle is crushing. Like 1 year, Alabama can't get out of 1 year without somebody huge going down. But I mean, it's a freak play. It happens. Anybody could get hurt on any type of game play.
Yeah.
But really encouraging Mac. But the thing I want to really touch on, and I'll let you go and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Is Devontae Smith only had 4 catches for 43 yards. I'm not sure if that's exact. And Jalen Waddle obviously got hurt on the opening play, and he's still almost due for 400 yards. I just want people to realize that. John Mechie, up-and-coming star. I think Slade Bolden's going to do a really good job. He's not obviously Jalen Waddle, but it gives an opportunity for not only him, but whoever is behind him to get some playing time, and maybe we get more depth at that wide receiver position. So I'm going to take a positive approach out of this. I'll let you go. I love you, Kyle. I'm going to enjoy the show, and I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Anthony. We appreciate it. That's Anthony calling in, and we already got the call-in line is already buzzing. I mean, we're going to post the stats right here, and then Trey's going to dip out in a second, and, we'll get him to get Nick Saban's press conference. And, in just a few minutes, and we'll bring that on. But as you can see from the stats, and I'll get to all the calls in just a few minutes, Mac Jones has a fantastic showing once again, 25 of 31, 387 yards. What he was able to do today was fantastic. You kind of look at the fact that, Jalen Waddle still not in this game, but you still have John Mechie rises up, 7 receptions, 151 yards. You have Devontae Smith, 7 receptions, 73 yards. Just a great performance overall. Trey, chime in real quick.
Check. Yeah, I mean, and Anthony making some great points too. This was an opportunity to kind of see what you had in guys like Slade Bolden. We knew what we had, but to really feel it out and see if he could come in and fill in that role as the 4th wide receiver, now the 3rd wide receiver in this core. Positives to take away all around today. Mac Jones, oh my goodness, he keeps getting back. This is insane. And Najee Harris today, 3 touchdowns again. The dude's at 14 on the season. It's getting pretty unreasonable. Heisman campaigns getting made, cigars getting smoked. I gotta head out now. We're gonna get Saban for you guys in just a moment. It's been a pleasure, everybody. Roll Tide.
All right, cool. All right, Trey Yanity is dipped out, and now we'll take your calls. Trey, you good over there?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay, man. All right, let's knock it out. Okay, cool. All right, that's Trey Yanity with BamaInsider.com. Call line at the bottom of your screen. We're about to get going. I got my cigar, and we'll take your calls and dive into this game, and we'll take our first our next caller right now, and starting off. What's up, man? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's going on, Kyle? This is Jerk from Buffalo, man.
Take it away, man, Jerk. Alabama coming off with another big victory. Your thoughts on this game, and obviously your impressions of Alabama losing, the most dangerous, wide receiver in the country, or one of them, in Jalen Waddle.
It's hard question, man. You lose the most explosive player on this offense. You lose a guaranteed first-round pick in Jalen Waddle. It's heart crushing. You just feel for the man. Finally got his opportunity after pretty much sitting behind 3 first-round talents. And the fact that he got his opportunity was showcasing it, and for him to go out the way that he did on the kickoff is it's heart wrenching. But all you can hope for is a speedy recovery, and that he'll get to 100% whatever decision he makes, whether it's to come back or whether it's to go to the NFL. I definitely will fully support it. But talking about this game, Kyle, I thought that Alabama's defense did a much better job, at least against the run. They didn't get dominated off the line of scrimmage. They didn't get out physical off the line of scrimmage. I thought the most impressive part was the fact that they didn't miss too many gap assignments this game. They were really responsible. There's the communication I felt from the linebackers to the rest of the players I felt was there. We did have some breakdowns that's going to happen, but this is a physical Tennessee offensive line. They got 4 or 5-star recruits. One of them, Trey Smith, is going to be a first-round pick. So I thought that Alabama's defense did a good job showing that they can be physical with some of the best rushing offensive lines in the country. As far as the pass rush goes, that's a major concern because we can't rush the quarterback if our life even dependent on it. We cannot rush 4. I don't know if Pete Golding has to die up, some exotic blitz here and there. But if we can't rush the passer, especially going against some of the most explosive offenses in the country, then it's going to be another Ole Miss type of showing, or it's going to be potentially even worse than that. So we got to get better at rushing the quarterback. But just real quick for Jalen Waddle, Oh, it's such a huge loss because, he is that Tyreek Hill player, right? You saw, for anyone who watches the NFL, how Buffalo had to play Kansas City. Like Tyreek Hill struck so much fear into defenses that great defensive coordinators, they have to change their entire defensive philosophy in order for them to prepare for that game. And you saw Kansas City rush for 300 yards. A big reason was because Buffalo had fear that Tyreek Hill was going to explode and go over the top, because there's no one in the league that can keep up with him. No one in college football can keep with Tyreek Hill. Georgia is a physical secondary. They love to play you up, and they love to put hands on you. No one could touch Waddle. And if they did, it was a hold every single time. And eventually you did see those explosive sparks whenever Georgia would try to cheat up and would try to treat up and try to, pay attention to the run instead of respecting Waddle's speed. So, losing that, I think, even though as explosive as Alabama's offense is, as good as Mechie is, as good as Bolden is, you can tell the difference from Waddle being in the game and just how explosive they are as a vertical threat compared to when he's out. Mechie, as good as he is not as fast, he's not as quick, not as shifty as him. Bolden is a prototypical slot receiver, right? Nothing against the kid, because I thought he had a great showing today, but he doesn't bring anything special to the table. So against some of the better defenses, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they play more into the run, if they kind of lose a little bit of respect for Alabama, and that's really cheating up the front because they feel like that vertical presence is gone for Alabama.
On the line with Jarek from Buffalo. Jarek, before we cut you loose, man, and move to our next caller, what was your take on Slade Bolden? He came into this game. I keep showing those Georgia stats. I got to get the Alabama versus Tennessee stats. When you kind of look at, the stat line for Slade Bolden, who I thought came in and did a good job. He had, 6 receptions, 94 yards. Your take on the Slade cat?
I thought he stepped up. He stepped up when we needed him. I think Slade Bolden is that prototypical slot receiver that is a reliable pass rusher. Now, he did drop a touchdown pass from Bryce Young at the end, but he's more reliable I would say in those emergency third down situations. He can make plays, especially if he's mismatched against the linebacker or a safety. But like I said before, Kyle, when you're going against some of the better defenses in the country, are they gonna have a lot of respect for Slade? Are they gonna respect his speed? Are they gonna respect even his route running ability? Because he doesn't really bring anything to the table that's special, right? Devontae Smith has the all around. He has that all around presence. He's the best route runner in college football. Arguably has the best hands in all of college football. Like, he brings something special. Waddle brings speed and he brings that verticality. Mechie brings the IQ. Mechie's one of the smartest football players I think I've seen this year, as far as knowing how to get open, knowing when the players are going to be jamming, and really having a counter to what a defensive back brings to the table. Bolden doesn't really bring anything special. So we'll see how defenses will respect and how they'll play up against Alabama, especially if Bolden is in the slot. But I did like his performance. He stepped up in some of the biggest moments that we needed him to, and I think looking forward onto the future, you got to like Slade, but especially because he was an all-purpose player back in high school, and he's still learning how to play the slot position. So I think Slade Bolden has a promising future.
No. You should be. Give me 1 second. All right, Jarek, we're gonna move to our next caller, but thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. I gotta help Trey out with something real quick.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thanks for calling in, Jarek. Jarek always making good points. I appreciate it. I think he brings up some good stuff. Give me 1 second real fast. Cool. Yeah. Behind the scenes here, I got Trey. So he's doing Nick Saban's press conference right now. So got to make sure all the audio's, piped in correctly and whatnot. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Smoking my, cigar right now after Alabama's victory over Tennessee. Taking your calls, 205-850-0883. We got a ton of calls to get to. Don't worry, I'm going to take you guys. We're going to be patient with it. So like what Jarek's had to say about Slade Bolden, and I flashed the stats on the screen. I'll get to my next callers in just a second, but I want to kind of run through the stats real quick. Call in line at the bottom of the screen. And while you guys are locked on, And before I do that, remember that we have a flash sale right now on Bama Insider. So you can get an annual subscription. Usually it's $99. It's just $12 right now. We're literally just giving it away. $12 for a year subscription at BamaInsider.com. Deal ends tomorrow night. So definitely go to BamaInsider.com and get that subscription, annual subscription for just $12. I mean, let's celebrate the college football season. Celebrate it that way right there. As we look at the stats, and I'll get to my next colors in just a second. Mac Jones, 25 of 31, 387 yards. Surprisingly, no touchdowns in this game. Najee Harris, 20 carries, 96 yards. We got a chance to see Trey Sanders, 7 carries, 39 yards. What did you think of Trey Sanders, the redshirt freshman running back? Brian Robinson thought he ran hard during his opportunities. Najee Harris, 3 touchdowns on the game, now has, I believe, 14 touchdowns. John Mechie, 7 receptions, 150. You got Devontae Smith with 7 receptions for 73 yards. And Slade Bolden, 6 receptions for 94 yards. When we look at the defensive statistics on this game, I'll get to my next callers in just a second. Just want to read out the stats. Christian Harris leads the team with tackles, 10 total tackles. And then you had Dylan Moses with 6 tackles, 6 of those solos. You had 3 pass breakups by Patrick Surtain. Of course, he got caught on one of those and allowed a touchdown. Daniel Wright with 4 tackles as well. And I thought, kind of looking at this game, there was several times that Alabama got caught deep, right? It was the first time that we've really seen that this season. So, let me know in the comment box and what you guys think about kind of Alabama's secondary. And we'll take our next caller in 3, 2, 1. What's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hunter from Hartford, Alabama.
Hey, what's up? Hunter, can you turn down the volume in the back, please?
Yeah.
All right, take it away, Hunter.
Yeah. I think today, we played well. I think I agree a lot with what Nick Saban said after the game. We got to play more consistent on defense. We made some improvements. I think we did something better this week. But there just seems like there was just drives there with Tennessee where they were on offense that we couldn't tackle them for nothing. And that's kind of frustrating because when you're used to an Alabama defense and we're not playing Alabama defense, as a fan, it kind of gets frustrating.
Yeah, I think you bring up some good points. I think there's a lot of missed tackles that we continue to see. I think sometimes, it's interesting because you don't see a lot of physicality. I was talking with Trey Yanity about that, during the actual game, is sometimes you don't see that physicality that you've seen from the past. Hunter, let me ask you about this. What do you think about, kind of the secondary getting caught a couple times? We saw Daniel Wright get caught. Luckily, that guy stepped out of bounds, but then on the next play to do a touchdown, Jordan Battle got beat. Patrick Surtain got beat. Is that concerning as Alabama moves forward? I know Tennessee's offense wasn't that impressive, in my opinion, but if they play a team that can throw the ball, like Mississippi State, I know the quarterback's thrown like 15 interceptions or whatever, but do you think that, that could be a cause for concern?
Well, I have 2 feelings on that. One, yeah, a little bit, but when you see how they played last week against Georgia and how well they did in that game, now, granted, Georgia didn't throw the ball as much as Tennessee does, and as Mississippi State will do. But we do have some team. We do have some improvement, week to week with those DBs. So we'll just have to see how it goes from here on out.
Yeah, on the line with Hunter from Alabama. Okay, final thought as you kind of look at the stats on the board. What do you think about Bryce Young? We got a chance to see him in action today. He had 3 of 5. He came in with 10 minutes in this game. Thought he threw a couple passes that looked pretty good. One to the outside, one across the center. What were your thoughts about Bryce Young?
Bryce, he looked pretty good for the most part. I think he's still got to get a better grasp of the offense. Mm-hmm. He seemed kind of confused. And a couple of spots there. One last quick thing.
Yeah.
The last one I mentioned about Slade Bolden and how he thought he was nothing special. I thought Slade did a great job for as much as for him not having a whole lot of experience. I think he looked like remember a few years ago we had that kid. What was that? Oh, that white kid that we had, the receiver who's a transfer from another college. I can't remember the kid's name right off the top of my head.
Neither can I, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Hunter.
But he looks a lot like he looks a lot like that kid we had a few years ago. And so I thought Slade did a good job for playing that slot role.
Yeah, I think, and I'll get to my next callers. I know we have plenty of callers. Just be patient. Just wait. I'll give everybody their time. Hunter, I agree with you, man. I think, I think Jarek, bringing up the fact that, there's no one going to, replace Jalen Waddle. They just can't. But I think when you have, a player like Slade Bolden, we're all kind of wondering who that fourth wide receiver would be. I thought it was going to be Javon Baker, to be honest. But when you look at a player like Slade Bolden coming in, I thought he did fantastic. I know he dropped, that touchdown pass. But was that on him? Was that on Bryce Young? I think we could go round and round. Point is, when it touches your hands, I think you're supposed to catch it, right? Isn't that the rule? But he came in today, 6 receptions, 94 yards, and he also returns punts. So Slade Bolden certainly capable of doing special things at Alabama. Anything else while we have you on the line, Hunter?
No, I think that's it. But then again, like I said, there's a lot of positives that we can build on here going forward, and we just got to play better on defense. And that's my only concern. I think we can improve on defense and play with more consistency. I don't see why we cannot win the SEC championship and possibly another national title.
Good stuff, Hunter. Thank you so much for calling in. I always appreciate the dialogue with you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. That was Hunter from Alabama. I appreciate it. Hey, you could also super chat. I appreciate all the tips. All tips go to the in-house. I want to, definitely be sure and take care of my boy Trey Yanity as well. He's been here all day. And, we've had a good time today watching Alabama. While I have everybody on the line, I'll flash this up a couple times. $12 for an annual subscription at BamaInsider.com. So definitely check that out and, take advantage of that. The deal ends tomorrow night. Promo code is BAMA12 at checkout. Definitely go take advantage of that. Okay, we're going to move to our next caller, and that starts right now. Hey, what's up? Good evening. Thanks for joining the show.
Hey.
With Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Demetrius from North Carolina.
What's up, Demetrius?
Hey, well, I'm just rolling like the tide. I want to say, we had a couple mishaps. I got to talk about the defense. Had a couple little mishaps on there, but overall, every week I could see some little improvement, and I'm proud of it. And that's why I know people might not want to give Slade Bolden a little slack, but hey, that's what you pay Steve Sarkisian for, to dial up some stuff for the players you got. So,
what about
I believe we'll be all right.
Demetrius, what about, we got another small sample size of Bryce Young tonight. Your take on the young freshman quarterback?
Well, like a little small sample size, I believe from what I've seen next year, few more, good spring practice, work out more. Hey, he's going to pick right up where Mac Jones left off.
I think so. I think he made a big throw to the outside right, down the center, both to John Metchie. Thought he did a good job. When we kind of look at the stat line of Bryce Young, he's a freshman. He comes in, and I think I think what I saw from him today compared to the game against Missouri, I think I saw a lot more confidence from him. And I like the fact that he's in there with the ones. He had Najee Harris. He had his offensive tackles. You look at what he did, his stat line, 3 for 5, 30 yards, almost threw that touchdown pass. So like what I saw about him. What about the defense? I'm asking everybody kind of about the secondary. It seems like, a couple times they got caught there in the game.
Yeah, they got caught with their pants down a couple times, and that's just something you have to clean up. Hey, I've seen that happen to the best of defenses. I understand, but a lot of people concerned about the defense. But this time, we have an offense, that it's kind of that helps out the defense versus the other way around in past years. Because I can remember years, Alabama being dogfights, and defense gave up some. A couple years Alabama put up some. Their defense allowed some points, even though they still won like national championship.
Yep.
Even that that mighty team with Allen Williams and Reuben Foster, you know, hey, best defense, one of the best defense that Alabama ever had, but they lost.
All right.
I mean, could come over and stop when they wanted to, but they just didn't have an offense to help them out.
Final thought, Demetrius.
And I believe that's the difference maker.
Final thought.
Hey, the offense can help out the defense. My final thought is the offense can help out the defense, and we have an offense that can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've talked about it. Nick Saban had there was an article on ESPN by Chris Lowe. I've talked about it several times. You know, it's the offense that wins these games. And it's kind of the defense that sticks around. I know a lot of the older Alabama fans don't like to hear that, but I mean, I have to agree. I mean, Nick Saban's been able to evolve. We saw just how dangerous that LSU team was last year. I don't think their defense was overall that good. I think there was
nowhere close,
but their offense was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, just play. In my opinion, they can play a little bit more opportunistic.
Yeah,
and just make a couple key stops like Clemson done us the other year in the national championship when they blew us out. You know, we moved the ball up and down the field, but they just made a couple key plays that swung momentum for them for the rest of the game.
Thanks for calling in, Demetrius. I appreciate it, man.
You have a good one, Kyle.
All right, take it easy. Demetrius, always good to rap with Demetrius. I'll take my next caller in just a second. Hey, Paul, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Tim Smith, Barmore and Young played well on the defensive line. Yeah, I think Barmore is going to be that guy that's at your interior defensive lineman who gets to the quarterback. I'm surprised though. I saw him get doubled a lot tonight. And that's going to happen just because he's that caliber of a player. You kind of look at the stat line here and you see that Alabama, surprisingly, this is really amazing and something that I think needs to be addressed is Alabama, as you can see, quarterback hurries. They had one quarterback hurry. That's from Brian Branch. In terms of quarterback sacks, they had 0 sacks in tonight's game. Something that needs to change, something that needs to be addressed. And I think, we all know that the defense, has kind of some glaring holes. But let me ask you this. Is the defense improving overall week to week, or is this something that Alabama is just going to have to move through and rely on this high-powered offense? I'll take my next caller right now. Hey, thanks for being patient and waiting on the line. You're with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Jay in Atlanta. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Jay? I appreciate you being patient. And everybody, I'm going to get to you guys' call. So, there's no rush. Be patient. We'll talk about the game. This is what we do. Jay from Atlanta, you're on, man. Take it away, man. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, yeah, I subscribed. That's a good deal.
There you go. Hell yeah, it's a good deal. Deal of a century.
I figured I'm going to call in this much. I might as anyway. So we should all take a moment to reflect and remember the reason we're smoking these cigars is because Tennessee sucks so bad. And I love there was one moment late third quarter where the Tennessee fans were like really getting psyched on first downs and they were down 3 or 4 touchdowns. And I was sitting there thinking, my God, I came up in the 90s when Fulmer just dominated. And now we're talking like a generation of sucking for Tennessee. It's kind of astounding. Like there are 18, 20-year-old. I mean, the kids going to these games have never really known a Tennessee program like what I knew through the 80s and 90s. So I just want to reflect on that, like how bad Tennessee's been for how long. It's really, really shocking.
Well, I was thinking about this, Jay. I mean, Trey, who's a college student, right? I have him here. He's working the boards behind the scenes, doing all this labor behind the scenes. He was in 4th grade in 2006. So all these kids who are also in college, they've grown up losing to Alabama every single year. And I keep asking like people, where's the rivalry? And I get it during, there was a time where it was completely, there was opposite for a while. But I mean, since 2006, my goodness, I mean, it's just, we all knew what was going to happen today. We know what's going to happen next year. It's just, it's a rivalry game. I get it. We're smoking the cigars, but still, I mean, it is what it is. What else, Jay? Continue.
Yeah. So back in the 90s, Tennessee was just always notorious for defensive and offensive line domination. It was like, I remember before overtime, we tied Tennessee. Palmer ran a 2-point conversion jet sweep and tied Tennessee, and we were over the moon to tie Tennessee. That's how far they have fallen. Anyway, I did want to point out that they didn't call targeting on Devontae. I thought that was one of the most shocking reviewed no calls. I know y'all saw it. We were all still reacting to Waddle, but shocked by that no call targeting.
Well, I mean, isn't that the definition of targeting? Is another helmet in another player's face? I mean, that was like the definition. If there was like ever a definition of targeting, that would have been the call. I've never seen that go uncalled.
Last week, a lot of people were whining on the Georgia side about pass interference on Devontae on that fade into the right edge of the end zone. Mm-hmm. And, the officiating is so terrible, but today today was awful. The Auburn game with that ball that clearly
oh my goodness, that was unbelievable.
I mean, it was one of the calls I've ever seen. And then they said like 10 minutes later, it was a quick review in the booth. I'm like, anyone who watched that saw his pinky move. So
anyone with eyeballs.
Anyway, so and the other thing I wanted to ask about was Trayshawn Holden. Is this going to be an opportunity to see some freshman receivers come in who do have that ability to just burn it down the field? Or are we just locked in with Slade at this point?
No, I think that's a great question, Jay. I think, kind of looking at the wide receiver depth chart, I had talked a lot about Javon Baker. You got Trayshawn Holden. You got a couple other guys, Xavier Williams, guys that can step up and step in when their names are called on. I think Javon Baker is a guy. I mean, he's one guy who I'm really excited about. I think I have some footage real quick that I could show you on Javon Baker. And I mean, I feel he brings so much to the table. Same with Slade. I mean, Slade's a guy. I think, he's certainly capable of continuing.
He could be our Renfro.
Yeah. I mean, who knows how good Slade can be? I mean, look at these clips real quick, fam, of Javon Baker. And this is a season ago. I mean, this isn't even like new footage. And the guy is just a complete alpha male on the field. So I think whenever Javon Baker gets out there, can't wait to see what him and Bryce Young can do. But certainly when you go down, there's no one going to be like Waddle. But Javon Baker, Slade Bolden, I think Alabama will just be fine. All right. Final thought, Jay, take it away, man.
Everyone pump the brakes. I know Waddle going down is bad news, but I still say we have burners. I think Slade's going to do some really good things. They're going to figure out ways to pivot here and utilize him. Like the previous caller said, he's going to be a real, like they called Renfro third in Renfro. Maybe that's a new element of a very evolving offense that we really dial Slade in for some tricky stuff. So I'm looking for the silver line. My last question for you is, do you think that this brings Waddle back next year?
No, I don't. I think we probably saw our last, shot of Jalen Waddle playing for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I could be completely wrong, but, an ankle injury is far from, what Tua Tagovailoa went through. I think he's going to be fine. I think Jalen Waddle is just too dynamic. I think he's going to recover and be just fine. He's going to rehab, and I think 100% he's gone. I mean, he's the most electric football player in all of college football. I know some people are going to say Rondell Moore. And I think like White Knight saying right here in the comment box, kind of a bittersweet night. But no, I think Jalen Waddle, that was the last time we saw Jalen Waddle, unfortunately. So blessed to see someone come through, and I think his work ethic will just certainly continue to make him a first-round draft pick. All right. Cool. Hey, everyone, sign up. Take that deal. $12 for the year is pretty awesome. Right. Thanks for what y'all do. Roll Tide. And we'll talk to you next week. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate it. All right, that is Jay from Atlanta. He's talking about the deal of a lifetime. My goodness. I mean, we want to get you in the door. We want to get you exposed to BamaInsider.com. No better time than right now. I've never put a deal out like this before. $12 for just 1 year. The regular price is $99. You're going to get this deal for $12. Every single thing that Andrew Bone posts behind that stupid paywall, right? This is your opportunity to get behind it. All those juicy nuggets from yours truly will be posted. I mean, I was telling people before, the news even came out that Charlie Scott was going to be your punter. It was like 3 hours before everybody else started posting about it. That's the type of stuff you get on BamaInsider.com. Sign up now. Promo code is BAMA12. Deal ends tomorrow night. I'm suspecting tomorrow could be another good day for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Hush, hush. Okay. We'll take our calls and appreciate all the super chats. And thank you very much for joining me tonight. Kyle Henderson at BamaInsider.com, along with Trey Yanity back behind the scenes. And we got Tony Sukalis up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Maybe we can bring him on. So we're going to take our next caller in 3, 2, 1. Hey, thanks for joining the show. You're on with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Rob in Colorado.
Rob, man, Rob. You could save 2020 for me, man, because I've been looking for you. I've been trying to see if you're okay. And now I got you on the line. Rob from Colorado. It's been a long time. It's been too long. I'm kind of upset, but thank you for joining us. Take it away, Rob.
I'm actually subscribing to your can't believe deal you got going on right now.
It's about time, Rob. We've known each other for like 3 years. Take it away, man. What your thoughts on this Alabama beatdown of Tennessee?
Yeah, just I feel like it was solid. It's people. Well, first I want to say, thank God that I'm still sturdy. You're still sturdy. You look good. You look 3 years younger than what you looked last year. So, I'm just happy to see that. And I'm happy to have you on the phone again because you're right. It's been almost like a year and a half. But, it just feels like Tennessee, okay, last year Tua got hurt in that game, I think. Something happened in the game last year.
Ankle.
What happened in that game, in this game? Yeah, okay, what happened against Tennessee 2 years ago? Did something else happen? Didn't Jalen Hurts get hurt in the game?
Yeah, you know what?
Right?
You know what, Rob? I forgot about that. So 2 years ago, I was at that game in Knoxville. Tony's up there now tonight. It was Jalen Hurts who got hurt and then had the tightrope surgery. And then last year, man, that's crazy. Tua Tagovailoa got hurt, had the tightrope surgery, and now you have Jalen Waddle go out with what I suspect is some sort of broken ankle. So that's nice job, Rob. That's terrible.
And all I hear is people in the comments, people on TV. This isn't a rivalry. Are you kidding me? We lose dynamic players every year. This isn't a rivalry. This is pretty. We take huge losses, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Man,
so we beat them, but look at what it cost us. I mean, Jalen. And you had people in the comment section talking about some guy was saying, "Oh, how many points have we scored since Jalen Waddle got hurt?" Dude, are you kidding me? And I like Slade Bowen. I remember when we recruited him, he's an athlete. And, I think I was calling him Hunter Renfrow. We got our own Hunter Renfrow in the comment section. But you got to understand something, bro. He can't hold a candle to Jalen Waddell. Not at all. Ball security, speed, catching, nothing. He can't. It's a talent thing. I mean, if they play their whole lives, he'll never be at Waddell's level. And that's just it is what it is.
That's exactly what, and I get it, and just like I said, Slade Bolden's going to do fine. The offense is going to continue. Javon Baker's going to be the guy, but I'm with you, man. I mean, Jalen Waddle, a player like that comes through every so often, and I get it. He might not have the stats that Devontae Smith has. He was the fourth receiver last year, but I'm telling you, he's the most dynamic player in all of college football. Not even this year, but last year. Remember that Auburn game when he completely took over? We're missing Jalen Waddle. It's a bittersweet night. I'm upset. You're upset. Everybody feels like even though we won, or Alabama won, rather, that losing Jalen Waddle. I mean, especially because just that guy grinds so hard. So I have so much respect for people who put on the grind because you know me, I'm a grinder, right? And man, for him to lose out, man, I'm upset, man. It sucks. What else you got, Rob? What's your take on the young freshman Bryce Young at quarterback? I know we didn't get a large sample size, but we continue to see Bryce Young in his development at quarterback.
The pass over the middle with Mac Jones to oh my gosh, I know this guy's name. It was
John
underthrown. John Mechie.
Yeah, John Mechie. Mm-hmm.
Deep over the middle. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Maybe in the third quarter, maybe. Or second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mac Jones. He's an all around good guy. He's like one of them dudes I think that can get along with anyone. But I do feel like there's room for Bryce Young to come in and play. I mean, yeah, he got his ball batted down. He's kind of short, but his passes were crisp. He had some nice passes, man. I like Bryce Young. I think we should try to. I hope he can get more PT with the ones, and we can try to see him more because you're one hit away from playing your backup.
Yeah,
so I hope we can get him in there.
Yeah, I think he needs more reps, but I think the way that Mac Jones is playing, I mean, he's playing Heisman-esque. You really can't take away that rhythm that he's in. I mean, he almost threw for 400 yards for the 4th consecutive game. Really like everything that he brings to the table. He's completely on fire. I mean, playing like one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the country. I know a lot of people are going to be upset with that because, you know, Trevor Lawrence also doing it, but you look at kind of the competition level between the two teams. Even, you know, Tennessee's definitely, in my opinion, they're better than Syracuse, who Trevor Lawrence played today. Final thought, Rob, take it away, man. What's your final thought?
You know, this season is going to be, there's so many question marks, but it seems like our defense, like I was kind of getting mad because everybody kept talking bad about our defense, like, oh, if their defense was good. And then I'm like, wait a minute, didn't we pick off Georgia 3 times, but then the quarterback was kind of trash, so I understand that. So basically, I don't think we can win a championship unless our defense evolves, does a 180, because Jared Garantano, like sitting in the backfield for like 3-4 seconds with no pressure, that's not, I mean, where's Tim Williams? You know, where's, you know, Deshaun Hand?
They're not there.
I mean,
they're not there.
Where's the pressure? Are you kidding me?
There's no pressure.
Even Anderson was getting, Anderson got put in there.
There's no pressure. It's unbelievable.
No pressure.
Rob, please update your phone book. Please keep calling in. I need to know you're safe. I need to know when you have smash burger. You stay in contact more often. And if you don't call, I'm gonna call you. Okay, Rob?
No, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna try to catch all your live shows, brother.
All right, man. Cool. Catch you soon, Rob. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. I'll sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, that's Rob in Colorado. All right, so next up, we got to I'm going to pipe in our team writer, Tony Sukalis, who's up in Knoxville. But then next on the queue, so you know where we're at, I got a 210, a 256, a 678, 706, 239. Those are the next calls in the queue. So you guys just be patient. We'll get through everybody right here. But I'm going to pipe in our team writer, and we're going to add Tony Sukalis to the show. Tony, what's up? Thanks for joining us from Knoxville, Tennessee. I got a suit jacket on. I'm smoking a cigar. Man, your takeaway from the game today from Alabama beating Tennessee.
Sure, a big win for Alabama, but you know, at what cost? Because they lose one of their best playmakers in Jalen Waddle. So I think there's a lot to be positive about from Alabama, but at the same time, I think it's a little bittersweet for them because obviously that first play kind of taints the victory a little bit for them.
Saban will.
I mean, talk about from an impact perspective. I mean, how big is it losing Jalen Waddle? I mean, it's just, I mean, everybody's sad that's calling in. It's almost like a bittersweet, but we saw some Slade Bolden. We're probably going to see, I would assume, some Javon Baker. But from a kind of overall impact, what does losing a player like Jalen Waddle mean for Alabama?
Tonight or this afternoon, it really didn't mean much because we really saw Slade Bolden step up in that spot. And then we keep on seeing Sean Mechie, big catch after big catch. That guy's coming down with everything. So Alabama certainly has a lot of weapons. You mentioned some of the younger guys. I think we're going to start to maybe see Javon Baker. You might see some Trayshawn Holden as well. So those are some guys I think to watch for. But Alabama's got so much weapons. Mac Jones is slinging the ball. He was very efficient. Set an Alabama record with 19 straight completions between the end of the Georgia game and the beginning of this game. So Alabama's offense is rolling right along. It's going to hurt against maybe some of the bigger teams, but I think maybe by that time that Alabama plays, maybe in the playoff or in the SEC championship game, it's going to have some of these younger guys. They'll have some more experience under their belt.
Tony, kind of when we look at the defense now, a couple of these guys got caught. Daniel Wright got caught, Jordan Battle got caught, even Patrick Surtain, who we haven't seen give up too much. Those guys got caught. Talk about kind of the secondary, and if you see that there's potential problems, or if that's just that's going to happen kind of week to week.
That certainly is a problem, especially, I think, you've seen Daniel Wright get caught a lot. I think, with Patrick Surtain, that might be kind of a fluke thing. He had 3 pass deflections. I think Patrick Surtain actually had a good game, except for that 1 touchdown he gave up. You're also seeing a guy like Malachi Moore continuously step up and make some big plays, which is nice to see from an Alabama perspective. But they do give up a lot of plays, and I think that it is concerning. I think, look at how this team would play maybe against Trevor Lawrence and a Clemson or a Justin Fields in Ohio State. And I think if you're giving up those big plays, it's going to hurt you in the long run.
Here with Tony Tsoukalis at BamaInsider.com. Tony, final thought, this team, what's kind of the vibe and the mood of everybody? I'm sure, it's a celebration, but at the same point, it's kind of bittersweet losing a player like Jalen Waddle.
I think the team really rallied behind, rallied maybe for Jalen Waddle. I think that it was kind of an inspired effort. I think there's got to be a lot of confidence with this offense. I think it's probably the best offense in the nation. So I think, leaving this game, Alabama leaves pretty confidently. Their defense at times, yes, it gave up big plays, but it seems to be steadily getting at least a little bit better. I mean, 17 points is not that much. So I think, you leave this game from an Alabama perspective pretty positively.
All right. Thank you so much, Tony. Be safe on your drive back to Tuscaloosa.
Thanks.
All right. That is Tony Tsoukalis of BamaInsider.com. We take our next call right now. Hey, thank you so much for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, it's King T. I'm calling from Eufaula, Alabama, man, but I'm out here in San Antonio right now, man.
Okay, cool. What was your name, your first name?
Man, King T.
Okay, go ahead, man. You're on the line. Take it away, man.
Hey, man, I'm Alabama to the full supremium, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that defense, man, that ain't nuts, bro. You can't tell me, 100% if Kirby Smart on the sideline,
mm-hmm.
that people ain't scoring, period.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost put that team to anybody and win. That's what they've been showing you for the past few weeks. They ain't been nowhere, look like Alabama, nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing they got going is they got 1,000 players that nobody else ain't got. But my thing is, I understand that Nick, he's doing a lot of different stuff now, but I don't think them guys playing for him like they used to. Like in 2012, them guys was, them guys was a team, they was a unit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They had each other back. But now it's like everybody's so good, and it's like everybody just trying to play to get to the next level. And it's like that team essence that Clemson still has and has a stronghold on. They don't have that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're coming in 2019 because Tua fell off. Tua wasn't playing. So the whole team crumbled. If he wouldn't have fumbled at the first beginning, they probably would have had enough just Alabama-ism, if you know what I'm saying, to just pull it off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But now you put the little young cat, and he's gonna be iron, man. He's gonna be iron.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we can win that field with him. But where's Paul Tyson at, man?
That's a good question. He hasn't played. Paul Tyson hasn't played one snap this entire season.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what, to me, he's the best thing they got going for real. And if they don't play him, it's gonna shake something, and it's gonna hurt him in the long run.
Yeah,
because you see, he try to do too much to please what somebody else doing,
mm-hmm.
instead of keeping what he's been doing since 2008, 2009. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of switching it up a little bit, and I don't think them guys really playing for him.
Wrap it up with a final thought, man.
I think if they get back to the fundamentals and Nick know that he has a sincere love and respect for those guys for real and bring them all together, start asking guys like, okay, how you feel right here? Okay, what you feel when we did this? Okay, what you seen when you was, you know what I mean? More hands-on like that and getting at them. No competition nowhere.
Thanks for
if they don't tighten up, they miss open field tackles. They get hurt because they don't go 100% in practice. When you ever knew Alabama to be getting hurt?
A lot of open field tackles, man. No, or missed. I mean, it's unbelievable that this team cannot tackle, man. Hey, thank you so much for calling. Save my number. Please call again next time.
All right, bro. Y'all be cool.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. The 2-0. That's San Antonio, Converse Judson. I mean, talking about I mean, those boys don't play down there. That's some incredible high school football. Next up, we got a 256, a 678, 706, 239, and 251, 9, and then a 904. We got area codes, right? We got all over. Let me take care of Trey real quick. Trey, you good on everything, right? Trey just uploaded the Nick Saban press conference, so you guys can go watch that. We got a ton of coverage at BamaInsider.com. I'm gonna take everybody's calls. Here's the flash sale. $12 for an entire year. You got to sign up. The deal ends tomorrow. You got to go check it out. Taking your calls. We're gonna have a good time. Don't worry. I'm gonna take all your guys' calls. I'm not going anywhere. You know I love to grind. I got to take care of Trey real quick. Trey, good? Yeah, I think I'm good, man. Pop on real quick and tell everybody goodbye, and then you can make a proper exit, and then we can get you back to the college life so you can get down to Rounders, wherever you're going. It's only 6:40. Trey's not going to Rounders till like 10, 11 or whatever. All right, we're gonna take our next caller, 256, and we'll take it right now. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle.
Hey,
Henderson.
Kyle.
How's it going? Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Fred. I'm calling from Dutton, Alabama.
Fred from Alabama. Take it away, Fred. Thank you very much for calling.
Hey, I'm sort of like the last caller. I don't know if it's scheme or what, or not enough repetition, but for some reason we cannot have any kind of pass rush, any pass pressure.
Mm-hmm. None.
What is your opinion?
I mean, there's none. I think, tonight Christian Barmore was double teamed. I didn't see anything off the edge. I've never seen, I don't see a lot of pass rush from Chris Allen. I think that teams know that William Anderson, they know to bottle him up. But overall, you just don't see too much pass rush from this team, and they can't get to a quarterback who can move. They simply can't.
Well,
go ahead, Fred.
Well, the press before the year, before they ever played, was saying Will Anderson is the next best thing there ever was. And if they're doubling him up, that should leave somebody else open. Mm-hmm. Somebody else should have a free run. There's no excuse for the talent they've got that can't make any pressure on anybody.
Yeah, it's something that's a problem, and it's plaguing some of the defense. Trey, chime in here, man. I think there you go. Should be good.
Check. Yeah, no, we're good. No, Fred, great points there. And with Will Anderson, I think it's kind of a product of him getting found out just a little bit too soon. Incredibly talented young man, just a freshman coming off the end there. And, I think it would have, in a perfect world, Will Anderson might not have gotten as much hype in the preseason. And then, maybe after week 2, week 3, the whole country figures out how good he is and, maybe starts to double team them. But, with the pass rush, I think it just comes down to, not enough aggressiveness right out of the box. Like Kyle said, Chris Allen, we see him make some nice open field tackles. We see him bust in there every now and then, but there's just not enough pressure coming from him.
It's inconsistent.
It is. It's really inconsistent.
Yeah, it's inconsistent. Right. And I think, Fred, if they don't get a pass rush, I mean, that could be the ultimate downfall of this team, because you look when Garantano has time, he's able to go up over top, feel comfortable. And I think when you play teams with an even better quarterback, this guy's not even good.
Yeah, and Stetson Bennett last week too. That's a very immature quarterback that when he got a little bit of pressure, just folded. So
yeah,
you're not going to be playing that guy every week. Thankfully, for the foreseeable future, it's not going to be Trevor Lawrence until much later on this season. So you have some time to adjust, but an adjustment needs to be made quickly.
All right, Fred. But before we let you go, Fred, we're gonna exit out properly with Trey, get him off back to the college scene. Hey, fam, hit the thumbs up for Trey Anity. Does a ton of work for us here at BamaInsider.com. Spends the day here, doing odds and ends, and we really appreciate his work behind the scenes. So, thank you, Trey.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, Kyle. As always, Bama Nation, another victory today. Bittersweet, but a win is a win.
Excellent job.
Yeah, Fred. Take it easy, everybody. Roll Tide. Great talking tonight.
All right. See you later, Trey.
Roll Tide.
All right. Fred, final thought. Go ahead, man. Take it away.
Hey, I got one more question, and I'll hang up after it. If Ben Davis can't get in this game, can he get in any game this season?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Repeat that, Fred.
If Ben Davis can't get in this game, can he get in any game this season?
So Ben Davis, it's kind of the curious case. And if you're new to Bama Insider, if you've just taken advantage of that flash sale, I literally compile an entire overview of every single player. Take it easy, buddy. And, Ben Davis has played twice, I think, through these first couple of games. And I don't know. I mean, he would have already played, right, throughout his career. Now, this is the crazy thing. Now, this is a blanket waiver year, meaning that Ben Davis, if he really wanted to, he could come back next year. I know he's a senior, but this year doesn't count for anybody. So you could theoretically see him come back for next year. He wouldn't play. I mean, he would have already been playing this year. But so the short answer, I think, is no. Otherwise, he'd be playing more. And, that's just kind of the curious case of Ben Davis. But, yeah, thanks for calling in, Fred. We appreciate it. And I'm going to move to my next caller. All right. Yeah, that was Fred calling in from Alabama. I appreciate it. And it's kind of like a lot of people ask about Ben Davis, like what's up with Ben Davis? Why don't we see Ben Davis? But that's kind of just, that's just the way it is. My friend Jacob told me with the troll. Yeah, no, that's funny, man. No, I appreciate it, man. The cigar, this is it's been pure. I've been smoking it, man. So I appreciate it. All right, we're going to our next call. Thanks for you're on the line. Thanks for being patient. I know you took a little bit to get through. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Drew. I'm calling from Fort Myers, Florida.
Drew from Fort Myers, man. Take it away, Drew. You're on the show.
Hey, so real quick. So I think we're cursed against Tennessee. We lost Eddie Jackson on the punt return against Tennessee a couple years back. Remember that?
Oh, wow. Yep.
We lost Jalen Hurts. We lost Tua. And then obviously today we lost Waddle. So that hurts a little bit. But on to my point is the pass rush. Obviously, you've been asking a lot of questions about it. I'm no expert. But where is King Makuta? Yep. Drew Sanders, Cajo, Ben Davis, Braswell, all these guys that we've been recruiting, at least on third down, they may not have the experience yet, but at least on third down, why can't we just put them in on money downs and make some plays?
That's a great point. And so Drew Sanders, and mark this down, everybody, he changed his number from 16 to 20. We saw him in on a couple special teams play, saw him made a good tackle. He almost blocked a punt. Ali Cajo, I don't think he's fully healed from his injury that he suffered. It was like a minor knee injury, I think, that he suffered. So we haven't seen him. King Makuta, I think he has an injury as well. Kevin Harris is another guy you didn't ask about, but I just threw him in because he's another guy kind of off the edge that we haven't seen. So there's guys there, but Nick Saban is not going to the too deep. He's playing with just the the first team guys, and we haven't really seen Nick go to that second level. And I don't know if we're going to throughout the way. Otherwise, we would have already seen it. What else you got, man?
Well, I think that kind of answers our question in regards to the missed tackling, Kyle. These guys are gassed. If you look at them, they're gassed on third down. We got a bunch of big guys in there on third, and they're just not able to withstand a pass rush from all the wear and tear from first and second.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's something that needs to be addressed because you look at everything else from this team. I mean, I get it. Patrick Surtain got caught, but I think that's kind of, that could happen from time to time. But overall, I thought he's been playing well. I have confidence in Josh Jobe. I was surprised to see Jordan Battle got beat. Daniel Wright got beat. So he's kind of like up and down. But it all comes down. If you can't get to the quarterback and you leave the quarterback time, he's going to eat up defenses. I mean, that's just how the game works. Final thought, Drew, what you got, man? What else you got?
Final thought. What do you think about putting Lee back in at middle linebacker and Dylan Moses rushing the passer?
You're going to start fights, man. You're going to start fights talking about Shane Lee. I mean, look, Shane Lee, the thing about him, we don't know if he's even improved year over year. I would assume he has, but we just haven't seen him on the field. Theoretically, maybe you could put him to inside linebacker and slide someone over, to get, an extra rush. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question for Nick Saban. I'm sure it might make his blood boil, but the kid was in on like every single tackle last year. He had a ton of tackles. I think he was close to leading the team in tackles. Yeah, I mean, right?
He was second on the team.
Yeah, second on the team. Yeah. So I don't know. We haven't seen too much of him. I think, it was kind of a liability because when he got caught in space, he just didn't have the speed. But I don't know. I mean, Nick really hasn't been going to that second tier, and I'll be curious to see if he does going forward. But I think the defense is set. So what you're seeing right now is what Alabama has. Thanks for calling in, Joel. Save my number, man, and please call again next time, man. It's good rapping with you today.
Yeah, I appreciate you answering those questions. I'm gonna go and subscribe. Get that $12. Can't beat that.
You can't, man. All right, take it easy, man. See ya.
See you.
All right, yeah, I'm telling you, and I'll get to my next callers in just a second. Look, I'm telling you, this deal is ridiculous. I don't even know if I'm going to keep it on much longer. I'll probably keep it on until tomorrow at some point. But look, the deal is this: $12 for a year to Bama Insider. The regular price is $100. All right, $100 for a year. Today, $12. Go get the deal. The promo code is BAMA12. All right, be a Bama Insider. You can rap with me every single day. You can get all of Andrew Bones' content on Bama Insider. And the thing with me is, like, I don't stop. Like, I'm a grinder. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be here back tomorrow, God willing, and I'm going to put every single thing that I have into Bama Insider to make sure that you get the best experience. My email, Kyle@Bama Insider. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Taking all your calls, and Nick Saban press conference is loaded. Tons of coverage on BamaInsider.com. Taking our next call in 3, 2, 1. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, this is Robert from Mobile.
Hey, what's up, Robert? Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate you staying patient on the line. We got a bunch of callers, obviously, after that game. Your take on Alabama defeating Tennessee for the umpteenth time?
Of course, losing Jalen Waddle, like everybody says, the most exciting player in college football. Like Garrett Danielson, I can't believe I've agreed with him several times in this game, which is unusual. I'm usually fussing at him for, you got this wrong, Garrett. Oh, yeah, there's your bias again, Garrett. But he made a good point about we may not miss Jalen Waddle until the SEC championship game. We will really miss him. And because of the big play that he brings, we had 2 home run hitters with Devontae and Jalen Waddle, and of course Michie as well. But he wasn't quite on. He hadn't quite made the level of Waddle. Michie hasn't, and that's where it may come to play where we'll actually miss him. And of course, what everybody said about the pass rush, yeah. Again, that has the potential of not hurting us until either SEC championship game or if Georgia's quarterback improves any, or eventually we will face Clemson's Trevor Lawrence and Fields from Ohio State. And that's when the lack of a pass rush is going to be a humongous problem. Usually Alabama would totally destroy mediocre quarterbacks. And now we're making them look not so bad against us. The only quarterback we have some efficiency against has been Mon with Texas A&M. Yep. He's good, and we make him look average. But that's the only one.
I think you bring up some great points. I mean, I think, you look at what the quarterback did today, Garantano, he was 13 of 24, 162 yards, but he threw 2 touchdowns, right? You look at the quarterback last week, and I think that Alabama really got to the Bennett kid when they put pressure on him, right? They started, sending some blitz packages. I'm not sure why that wasn't the same plan. Maybe Tennessee's offensive line had something better drawn up, but it's frustrating, I think, for everybody to see that there's no pass rush and to see Alabama on one side, the offense being so productive. I mean, look at the stats, Robert, 587 yards, right? They had even the time of possession, 33 minutes of this game compared to Tennessee's 302, which still seems like a little bit more than they should have allowed. They're doing a good job stuffing the run, but that's obviously because Alabama's, beaten up team. So you have to throw on the other side. But let me ask you this about, the offensive side. It seems like for the second consecutive week, we're not even talking about Najee Harris. I mean, last week against Georgia, ran for 152 yards. This week, 20 carries, 96 yards. The past 2 games, he's rushed for 51 attempts, I believe, and he has 3 touchdowns in this game. Talk about Najee Harris and just kind of the play. It's almost like he's getting kind of lost in the shuffle just because this offense has so much potency.
You're right. You're right. Najee Harris is becoming this year's Derrick Henry for us. And I mean, again, he's showing himself to be the best running back in college football. If it wasn't for Mac Jones, and Trevor Lawrence, we'd be talking Najee Harris as Heisman favorite right now. Because again, he's gone into full-blown beast mode. He started out slow. The whole team started out slow as far as running game go, but great. The end of the season when you want that running game to pick up and to be effective, and that could save us down the road. Okay, the best defense is to keep the ball away from Trevor Lawrence, keep the ball away from Justin Fields, Ohio State's quarterback, by running the ball with Najee Harris and just completely obliterating time of possession. And Mac Jones, of course, has the patience enough to do that. He's again the old school, old style quarterback, so he has the patience enough to do that. And down the stretch, when like you said, money time comes at the end of the season, you want the best running game going into it. And with Najee, we will definitely have that. So yeah, you're right. It's unfortunate he's getting lost in the shuffle, but not so much lost. If people notice, you best believe the NFL scouts notice, and we'll all notice at the end of the season when it's playoff time, and then he's rushing for 150 yards, and we're grinding the ball now because we may have to get to that point where we have to say we're going to have to grind this game out because our defense, well, and if we see them they let the defense sit down a while by us throwing the ball down, maybe they'll get them to make more plays. But right now, their pass rush, it is frightening. It's like, yeah, guys, these are mediocre quarterbacks. You haven't met the good ones, really good ones yet. What are you going to do against them?
All right, Robert, final thought. Wrap it up, buddy.
Oh, that was just pretty much it. Again, but losing Wild's going to be as bad. I was hoping he would just be out for a few weeks before we get it back for LSU, but that's okay. I agree with you. We won't see him play for Alabama again, which again will be also unfortunate. But yeah, it's still a win. So let's think on the positive. All right, man. Great talking with you.
All right. Thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate you calling in. Thank you very much. All right. That was Robert from Mobile. I always appreciate talking with Robert. He's a frequent caller, always provides really good insight. And move to my next caller in just a minute. Yeah, kind of looking at the stat line overall, I want to show the defensive statistics. A lot of people want to talk about the defense. So here are the statistics. Christian Harris had 10 tackles, and I'll get to my next callers in just a minute. Hang on there. Appreciate it. Dylan Moses with 6 receptions. You have Patrick Surtain with 4 tackles. And you got Daniel right in there, Byron Young. Phil Mathis. I saw, kind of some spark from Phil Mathis. What about you guys? Sound off in the comment box if you saw that same kind of fire a couple times from Phil Mathis. Like to see him get in there, but didn't really see the game that I wanted to see from Christian Barmore, I have to say. Okay, we're going to take our next caller, and we'll take it right now. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Mr. Mighty Mike calling out of Jacksonville. How you doing, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in from Jacksonville. Take it away, man.
First of all, let me just say this. All week long, I've been staying online, talking back and forth to Bama fans. This was going to be a trap game. And they kept saying, oh, we're going to blow them away. And I said, when I say a trap game, I'm talking injuries. Every year it happens. And I said, it normally happens to major players. Here we go with Waddle. But, with that said, we still, I kind of concur with what everybody else has been saying. But I want to talk a little defense, man, because I lost my voice now from screaming at the TV.
I could say,
and like many other people, I'm telling you, we keep going man to man. Alabama keeps going playing man to man, and I'm gonna tell you, in the Georgia game, they switched over to zone, and it was more effective. Barry Odom, and I keep saying this week after week, Barry Odom has gone to a zone, with Arkansas, and he brings in an extra safety, that speed. And I'm telling you, man, they've been shutting people down, But I don't understand why we keep staying in this one mode. I sit up there and watch 5 missed tackles in one play, wide open. The same thing every week, week in and week out. And I know that some of these guys are gassed out, but it's the player. When are we gonna? The plan is so simple. And Georgia's off this week. Everybody's watching this stuff. And it doesn't take much to see. It doesn't take a rocket science to see that, when we play a better team, like everybody is saying, we're going to get blown out of the water. And so with that said, something needs to be done. I don't know what's going on with Nick in regards to and with the defensive coordinator and keeping this guy in place, or having somebody, these other guys work with him or something. But something needs to be done on defense, because I'm telling you, we're not going to make it, man. And I'm just being honest with you. We just not going to make it we're not going to win no natty playing defense like that. On the offensive side, I think you can't replace a Waddle, but we can offset that if we got a halfway decent defense. Then, in fact, we can kind of get through this. But right now, I don't think we ready. What's your take?
Mike, let me ask you about this, and I appreciate it. Well, my take is to ask you this question about the offense, because I keep referring to this article that Chris Lowe wrote. Chris Lowe knows Nick Saban, right? He writes all this stuff. He breaks all this stuff from Nick Saban. Talking about Saban said that offense wins games now. Does that just mean that, this is the defense and, kind of this, I don't know, if is the defense average? Are they below average? I don't know. I guess that's up for debate, but because the offense is superior. And I keep asking, people watching, was LSU's defense last year superior? The short answer is no, they were not. But the offense was just so good that, they're able to win a championship. That's one of the better teams to ever coast through college football, just because their offense was so prolific. Is that just kind of the sign of the times right now? Can Alabama, it sounds like you don't think Alabama can win a national title with just this offense and maybe this average or below average defense but Nick Saban's saying that you win games now with offense. What's kind of your take on that?
I tell you, and I heard the same thing too. They repeated it today on TV. The same thing. This is what wins. This is what wins the Natty. What wins the Natty is a balanced team. Period. Mm-hmm. If you got an outstanding offensive, if you're offensively you outstanding on that side of the ball, and then you've got a halfway decent defense where you can kind of keep the other team in check and keep them down, then you win the game. But if you got a sorry defense, I mean, you have to score, and if they better and they can score just with you, and they got a better defense, guess what's going to happen? They're going to shut you down. So yeah, I don't believe in that, that superior, that offense, and it's the offensive thing. And I don't think, and to be honest with you, I know they keep saying Nick Saban is saying this, but I don't think Nick Saban is saying this. I don't. He's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that Nick is saying it. I really don't. I've heard it twice today. And I said, I don't think that Nick Saban would say anything like that, because he understands this guy's the GOAT. He understands it takes a balanced team to win a natty, and everybody has to play. And something else that you said, and these earlier callers said, that's spot on. The rotation. Remember, Alabama used to rotate those secondary players. You got to get these guys, you got to get them off the field, the first string. You got to get them off the field, give them a little rest, and bring in the second. They're not doing that.
No,
these guys are
there's no rotation this year. No rotation. It's just the first team, and that's it. Sprinkle in, maybe one other guy, but it's just straight up the first team. That's it. All right, Mike. Final thought, man. Take it away.
All I got to say is get rid of Pete Golden. And I know everybody's probably saying they're going to jump on me, but something needs to give on defense. That's all I got to say. Something has to give, and it's going to have to give soon, because of the fact that if we keep going in the same direction we're going, guess what? We're going to end up nowhere. So that's all I got.
All right, Mike in Jacksonville, thank you very much for calling, man. It's good to ride with you. I hope you have a blessed Sunday.
Okay, you too, Kyle. Be blessed, my brother.
All right, thank you so much. All right, I get to my next callers. Hey, I want to tell you guys before we get going to our next callers, we got a bunch of callers lined up. I'll take all the calls, but I really hope that you make some time for your family tomorrow on Sunday, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope it's blessed for you guys, and I'm also telling you to stick around to BamaInsider.com at the later part of the day, probably around 4:15 p.m. Look for the notification, hit the subscription button so you don't miss when we drop videos. And so I'm just saying, stick around, because I think tomorrow could be another positive day for the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, hit the thumbs up button. We got 230 people watching. We should have 230 likes. Likes go a long way. I love the super chats and I appreciate it, but also the thumbs up and the subscriptions, really, really help out and help our channel grow. We're marching towards 40,000 subscribers right here on Bama Insider. I'd love to get to 50,000 and continue to move forward with the show. And we'll take our next caller right now. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
My butthole is bleeding right now.
Sorry, I didn't get that call. Dang. Okay, next, you're on the line. Go ahead. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Gerald from Myrtle Beach.
Gerald from Myrtle Beach. Thank you very much for calling in, Gerald. I really appreciate it. Take it away. You're on the show.
A couple of weeks ago, I called after one of the games and told you that I thought Alabama needed to get out of that cover two look because it was killing them as far as the tight ends. I also noticed that they got out of that cover two and now gone to a cover one look, kind of a man-free safety.
Mm-hmm.
But another problem I see is, and people have alluded to it, is the pass rush. You have to understand Alabama's defensive line. They got DJ Dale, Young, Imume, I may mess up his name. Those are not pass rushers. Barmore is. So teams naturally double team him. If I'm Pete Golding and I'm up in situations where there's a situation where it's going to be a pass, I'm getting out of that 4-2 look. I'm bringing Dylan Moses down into a 5-1 look. That way Christian Barmore can still ghost the quarterback if it's a running quarterback, or he can drop. Now you got 5 people, 5 offensive linemen blocking 5 defensive people.
Mm-hmm.
You can't double team anybody. Now you got Will Anderson, Dylan Moses coming off the edge, or you can leave Allen out there and take either Chris number 8 off or Dylan Moses off and still have your 5-1 look. And I think they would be better in passing situations to take Dylan Moses and walk him down. The Anderson kid on the other side or the Allen kid. I think Anderson's a better rusher than Allen. And you can have Barmore in there. You can still have DJ Dale, Young, Imume, or even Ray. Now you got some pressure that you can put on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alabama can't put pressure on the quarterback with the defensive linemen they have in there because they're not pass rushers. Now, that's just my philosophy, and I told you 2 weeks ago I coached a long time, and it was good to see they got out of that cover 2 look. Now, they get back into it occasionally, but they've been more in that single coverage the last couple of weeks, which has eliminated any tight end problems. They're also covering the backs out of the backfield now. They're not dropping if a back comes out, corner comes up, and the safety rolls over the top and covers that receiver. Now, we're talking about our young DB kids. One thing when I was defense coordinator, I always told my defensive guys, quarterback cannot throw the ball if he's running for his life or laying on his back. And until Alabama adjusts from that 4-2 to a 5-1 look, they're going to continue to have these problems throughout the year. That's just my opinion.
No, thank you very much for calling in, Gerald. When you kind of look at Alabama's, and I love that you can tell you're obviously a coach. You've coached a long time, and I love the schematic standpoint because you're not asking questions. You're providing suggestions about what Alabama could do from a defensive schematic standpoint to improve. I agree. I think Christian Barmore is a pass rusher. DJ Dell is not. He's a run stuffer. Justin Abogbe could be. Alabama, I think, might hope that he's kind of a hybrid. And you kind of look at who are the pass rushers with the interior defensive lineman. I don't think it's Phil Mathis either. So you might just be down to one true guy who can get after the quarterback. Maybe in the future that'll be Tim Smith. I'm sure Alabama hopes it could be that. What's kind of your assessment of William Anderson and how Alabama could effectively use him in different scenarios to get after the quarterback? Because with him being such a freshman, he plays at such a lightning speed. But I think against Tennessee and I think Ole Miss, those two offensive lines have done a good job really taking care of William Anderson and really taking him out of the game.
Well, you have to understand, he's not a big kid now. He's 6'2", 231. He's relying on quickness and speed. But if they got some tackle that can keep him pushed out and they're double teaming Barmore, they still got 5-on-4 blocking. If he becomes a problem, you can take the back and chip him on the way out. Or you can double team him because Dale's not what they done Alabama against Georgia. You saw that the short quarterback, they knew they had no pass rush. And what they tell them? Get your hands up. And it was effective. And when they did get a little bit of pressure, he threw the interceptions. My thing is, when I watch Will Anderson play, he makes plays. Even on the fumble that Malachi picked up, he kind of stuffed that run. But I'm telling you, if they will, Pete Golding or Saban will drop out that 4-2, put 5 men rushing, they don't have to blitz or corners or corner blitz or anything. The quarterback's not going to be able to sit back there and have time. If you got Dylan Moses and Will Anderson, that's two pretty good. And actually, Dylan Moses would be better on the outside than he is on the inside. He doesn't make the plays that he made 2 years ago. Before he got hurt, if a running back come up in the hole, Dylan Moses knocked the fool out of him. Shane Lee last year proved that. Problem with Shane Lee, he can't cover nobody out of the backfield. He's too slow. But if he's going north and south and he's hitting people, he's fine. The only way Alabama's going to have any pass rush, well, they can blitz, but they're going to leave themselves open in a bad position in the secondary if it's a quick pass. 5 pass rushers, get out of that 4-2, go to the 5-1 and bring those 2 guys off the end, and it will even help Barmore. It can help a Young and Uboba. It can even help DJ Dale. He's pushing this one guy now. But they don't make a whole lot of adjustments at Alabama. They just kind of – and I understand they got the young secondary. But I'm telling you, Malachi Moore looks pretty good.
Yeah, he does. All right, Gerald, let's get to a final thought here. We got to move to our next caller. Great call so far, by the way. So, final thought. Take it away, buddy.
I just want to say, man, I hate to see Waller go down. So I kind of look for Baker and them to get in. But, Bama will be fine. They just got to short the defense. They'll be fine. But, man, losing weight on Waller, it's a shame. He's a good player.
All right. Thank you so much, Gerald. We really appreciate what you bring to the show. Please call again next time. I love the schematics overall of how you break it down. Really provides so much insight to the call. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
All right. How about Gerald? My goodness. Maybe Alabama needs to hire Gerald from Myrtle Beach, right? God knows more football than probably anybody on here. I love the defensive philosophy. I didn't even get to ask him about, the offensive side just because he's breaking everything down to a T. And I think he brought up a great point about Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore is a true freshman. You guys have seen the way he's played this year. Came up with a strip, the scoop and score. I thought he was good in pass coverage. I can't wait to see his grade on Pro Football Focus. I think Malachi Moore is certainly a baller, and really continue to see him progress as really one of the top freshmen in this entire class. So really good story behind Malachi Moore. We're going to take our next caller right now. Hey, thank you very much for calling in and being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's going on, Kyle? This is Kwame from Atlanta.
All right. Kwame?
Yeah, Kwame.
All right. Is that a Q?
No, it's actually with a K.
All right.
Kwame from Atlanta.
All right. I'm going to do K from Atlanta.
I don't know if
and save me the embarrassment on trying to spell it. All right, K. You're on, man. Take it away. Thank you very much for calling.
You can just call me KJ, man. I don't know if I saw you, met you or not. I know I met with Mrs. Bone. Give her a shout out to Mrs. Bone. Andrew Bone's mom. I went over to the tailgate with him. I don't know if you were there or not.
No, you know what? I wasn't there, but the Bone family, they're always tailgating around Tuscaloosa. So good people, and prayers up actually to the family. Andrew Bone just lost his grandmother yesterday, and so our thoughts and prayers out to Andrew Bone and his family. His grandma was actually 98 years old, so I think the services are tomorrow. So prayers up for Andrew Bone, our beloved recruiting analyst. And we'll be praying for him, man. But KJ, you're on the line, man. Take it away, and thank you very much for being patient. Go ahead.
All right, first time caller. The reason why I called in tonight is just I know we're all on a high. I'm sad what happened to Jalen Waddle, but I think it's time now that we start putting in start playing our talent. I think behind Slade Bolden, you have Ty Jones Bell, who's extremely fast. If you think Waddle is fast, you got to look at Jones Bell's highlights. He's extremely quick as well. And also Baker. I know Baker is just a dominant receiver. I think one of those guys have to start possibly getting that slot position because I think they're better than Slade Bolden.
Oh, that's a big call. I mean, I think that they obviously see. I think there's not like a glaring disparity between those next couple of receivers in my opinion. I think Slade Bolden fits kind of that slot position. He does have great hands. He does run great routes. Same with Javon Baker, who I've talked about several times, who I think is going to be a guy next year. But I think it's kind of been we've been waiting for Slade to somehow get onto the field, and I think in his first game of true action, he did what he was supposed to do. I get it. Nobody's going to be Jalen Waddle. No one's going to be Tua Tagovailoa. No one's going to be Jerry Jeudy, etc. But I think in this situation, he fits the schematics of Steve Sarkisian's offense really well, and I thought he did well tonight.
He's a sorry guy for sure, but he dropped Bryce Young's touchdown. He has to catch that ball. You got to catch that. You're wide open. You got to catch that ball. Second, the defense played a lot better. I want to give props out to Dylan Moses because I know he's been getting a lot of slander lately. He played a heck of a game today. He's getting back. I think he's getting acclimated back. Coming off an injury like that, it's going to take you some time to start to get back into the process and the flow of things. Today, he showed like he's actually starting slowly to come back to his own. But my next thing is, do we ever have a safety over the top to help out at any? Like we're always man-to-man getting beat up for bombs. We should start putting safeties back to help out. We have to start making adjustments on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, I think, because I was asking callers, throughout the night, and I'll get to all my callers. You guys just hang tight. I'll be right there. I don't like, what I'm seeing like in this particular game, because I think Garantano is just an average quarterback, and the way that he was able to, toast some of Alabama's secondary members, basically all of them besides Job, right? I mean, actually Malachi Moore didn't get beat. He made a good play tonight in pass coverage that I really liked, but Daniel Wright, he got torched. Jordan Battle got torched. I was surprised by him. The most shocking.
If you looked at that, it seemed like they were looking in the backfield. It didn't seem like they were running scribe for scribe with them. It's like they were thinking of something. It seemed like another mix-up. We always get beat on mix-up. It seems like they were both right in battle. We're looking in the backfield for whatever reason. Yeah, and then they realized, oh shit, it's a one-on-one. One-on-one, I got to go help out. And then it was too late at that time.
I think I see what you're saying on Battle, because he got beat so bad that I was like, something's not right.
There's no way Battle's getting beat like that. Exactly.
That's what I got. Let me ask you this. Kind of when you look at we haven't talked about the interior linebackers, the inside linebackers, Dylan Moses and Christian Harris. What's your take of Dylan Moses and Christian Harris? And kind of, I'm more interested about Dylan Moses, honestly, because people feel kind of crossed about him. Like either he's doing good, he's not doing good. Nick Saban said he played well against Georgia, but kind of what's your overall take, from the first half of the season from Dylan Moses?
It's about getting acclimated into things. It goes back to what Terrell Lewis said when he was in Pro Day, and he talked about the play calling and how bad the play calling is and how the scheme of it gets messed up. We're always messing up on coverages. We're always missing up assignments. And Dylan Moses is the person that has to think for the whole entire defense. If they're not on one accord, if you don't have a defensive coordinator like Pruitt or Smart that we had before, that's what happens. Harris, I think he's slow. Lee, he can't run from east to west, but he's a quick, in north-south, he's going to come down. I just think Dylan Moses actually is a stud. You don't lose. I mean, look at him from his freshman year to his junior year. He was a stud. Now he's here and everyone's been like, okay, now he's doing terrible. You just can't lose. You can't lose your talent like that. It's play calling. It's everything that he has mixed up in this. When he goes to the NFL, he's going to be the top linebacker. That's my opinion of Dylan Moses.
All right. Final thought, KJ, as we got to move to our next caller.
Mm-hmm. I think we just got to keep on getting better on defense. Tackling. I don't know if we're afraid of COVID or we're not tackling or something. I don't know. In practice, we're missing so many open tackles. Can't get any pass rush. I would like to see us rotate more players on the defensive side of the football, so that way they can stay fresh. That's my take on that.
Hey KJ, we'll
Roll Tide.
say my number, KJ, because I really like catching up with you. I'll tell the Bone family you said hello, and let's definitely connect on our next show. We have shows kind of throughout the week, so just feel free to call in anytime. Say my number, and we'll definitely wrap. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, KJ. Bye-bye. KJ from the ATL. I love Atlanta, by the way. People have treated me so well out in Atlanta, and I can't wait till I go back. Hopefully the next time, maybe I'm playing some golf out there. So looking forward to it. Move to our next caller. And thank you very much for being patient. I know there's a lot of callers, and you might be in the queue for a little bit of time. So I appreciate you guys being patient. I'm going to get to everybody. I'm not in a rush. I'm chilling. I just smoked this fat cigar all the way down to the bone. So I'm chilling. This is your guys' show. So thank you very much. All right. Thank you for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the line, man. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hi. My name's Ray, and I'm from Atlanta as well.
Oh, okay, cool. What's up, Ray? Thank you very much. Hope you're having a good college football Saturday. I know a lot of people upset about Jalen Waddle, obviously. But other than that, he's another big win for the Alabama Crimson Tide. You're on the show, man. Take it away.
Yes, sir. I'd just like to offer some insight on the Jalen Waddle injury. It just looked like, and to piggyback on what a lot of people have said in the past, that every time that we play Tennessee, it gets pretty physical to the point to where we're losing superstars. Someone did mention back in 17 we lost Eddie Jackson on a punt return. Then in 18 we lost Jalen Hurts on with an ankle injury to this last year, and now Jalen this year. And to me, it looked like the Tennessee defender kind of did a horse collar on him, and I was wondering why they didn't call a penalty on that, because I think he kind of tackled him and then he put his weight down on him, which is probably what caused his ankle to give way. But enough about that, because obviously he's not going to be here with us anymore. But I think that we do have the players on offense to carry this team to a national championship. Now, although contrary to popular belief, most people are worried about the defense as well as I am too, I think that we got the pieces in play as long as we can continue to play like this, because you have to realize, even though Jalen Waddle wasn't available in this game, we still had 94 yards from Slade Bowden. We had 151 from Mechie and 79, I think, from Devontae. Mm-hmm. And Matt Jones still almost threw for 400 yards. So that tells you what this offense is capable of doing. And we had over 140 yards rushing, and 96 of those came from Najee. So I think we're pretty solid on offense. But I would like to see what some of these other receivers can do as well too. And someone had called before, and they had mentioned that that Slade Bowden kind of reminded them of a player that used to be with Bama about 4 years back. And then I have the answer for that person. I think that's Garrett Beater. I think Garrett Beater was that slot guy. Maybe he's similar to that, but I think that he played pretty good, even though I wasn't happy with the fact that he fumbled. He has to be able to protect the ball. And getting back on defense though, we have to get a pass rush to collapse the middle of the pocket so that we can force that quarterback on the run, because you've seen what we can do when we get a quarterback on the run, running outside the pocket trying to throw. He's going to make mistakes. So my question for you, though, Kyle, is that was LeBron Ray playing today? Did he play today?
No, LeBron Ray is out with a elbow injury. So Saban said at the beginning of the week that he was questionable. So he didn't play this last game, and then he didn't play this game. So you bring up a good point. Alabama's missing, one of their starters on the defensive line. And, they were missing him last year too with that foot injury. So we really haven't seen kind of the apex of LeBron Ray and what he could be. And I don't know how severe the elbow injury is going to be, but he hasn't played in 2 consecutive games. And that's kind of why we're seeing kind of some mixing and matching in some of these younger players. And also, you saw Tim Smith and Jamil Burrow recently get in, which kind of, I think the writing was on the wall for Ismail Sapshire, who just recently entered the NCAA transfer program. right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just saw that too, where we just lost Ishmael to the transfer portal. And I would definitely like to, someone had mentioned earlier, you know, where is Braswell? Where are these other people, these 5 stars that we got from last year? Why are these people, why aren't they not on the field as well to give some, you know, just some breathers for some of our starters? Because I was so angry when we gave up that first touchdown because the play before we had given up a 3rd and long, but because we missed the tackle. And then the very next play, he went deep, and then that left Jordan Battle out there in no man's land. And I was just so irritated with that. And then there was also we had another opportunity to get off the field. There was like a 3rd and 8 where Garen Chamo was just running around in the pocket, and then finally he was able to convert a 3rd and long. And we got to clean that up because I still think we got enough on offense, because just like what you said earlier, Kyle, LSU was not a formidable force on defense last year.
Yeah.
But yet they had such a formidable offense, it kind of offset what the defense could do. Now, I like where we are now. We could ill afford to have anyone else on offense go down. So right now, I think we got enough pieces because no one's going to. I think we play Georgia again. They might hold us under 40 points this time, but I still think that we would still be able to create problems for them. And I really would like to see what this Kyle Jones-Bell, what he's capable of, what Treshawn Holden. I did see him get on the field, and I would definitely like to see what these guys can do so that that makes us even more formidable on offense, and then we can come out with 4 wide.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's certainly talent in the pipe, but we're going to move to our next caller. So, Ray, thank you very much for calling in. Please save my number and please call again. You know, my friends from Atlanta always welcomed, and you brought good dialogue and posed some good questions. So I think there was a productive call, man. So thank you for being patient on the line. And please call again next time. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. That was Ray from Atlanta. You know, I mean, it's time for these younger wide receivers to step up, right? I mean, Kyle Jones-Bell, Treshawn Holden, Javon Baker are the next guys in line. And how about the guys that are kind of next in line? You know, the guys that Alabama has recruited that are coming in. You know, you got Ja'Cory Brooks, who looks like an absolute beast. You got Christian Leary, Ajay Hall. I mean, those guys are some big wide receivers. Well, I mean, not Christian Leary. He's kind of that speed guy. But Ja'Cory Brooks and I think Ajay Hall are both like 6'3" or something like that. So you got some guys that, you know, even next year should contribute as freshmen, or they might at least. But John Mechie's certainly holding it down. Devontae Smith has like a quiet, almost like 45 receptions on the season through 5 games, which is crazy. And then, you know, we saw what Slade Bolden can do tonight. I know people are going to talk about that drop touchdown, but overall, in terms of routes and kind of coming up with plays, I thought he did a good job. All right, moving to our next caller. We're going to take it right now. Hello, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Kevin from Dallas, Georgia. How you doing this evening, Kyle?
Hey, what's up? Thank you very much. I really appreciate you calling in. Go ahead, man.
But before I, get into my spiel, I just want to know I appreciate as far as all that you and Bone, do as far as what you all do, and also wanted to offer my condolences as far as to his family and the loss of his grandmother. But then also I just wanted to, when it comes, I'm glad that someone brought up earlier in reference to as far as the past and dealing with Tennessee. Just in regards to one thing, it's sometimes it's bad to be the smartest man in the room, and that's what I call Coach Saban at times. And I just wish that he would switch on one thing when it comes to special teams, and that is having, say, for instance, DBs as well as your star DB or your star wide receiver play, as far as either the kick return or the punt returner. Because I can remember like yesterday as far as Eddie Jackson getting hurt, and then as far as today as far as Waddle getting hurt. So I just hope that for the remainder of the season, hey, let Trey Sanders get a little bit more shine as far as when he's not able to run, as far as on kick returns, as well as Slade Bolden as far as the punt returns. And I have to be honest with you, Kyle. I'll be glad when the upperclassmen from the University of Alabama get out of Dodge City, because it's bad when your most productive defensive players are your freshmen. And I have to say this, Kyle, I believe when it's all said and done, the most shine that you're going to see defensively as far as from this team will be from the class of 20 and the class of 21. I believe that with those two classes, if they don't get at least 2 rings before they finish their 3 or 4 years, it would be a gross as far as underachievement on their part.
I appreciate the call. Thank you very much for calling in. Yeah, absolutely. When you look at kind of Alabama's younger, players on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, there's some ballers. I mean, for sure. I mean, we're starting to see that already. I mean, look at the guys who are playing right now. You got William Anderson, who we all like. We saw Drew Sanders. I think he's only kind of rising up. And notate this, fans. He changed his number to number 20 from number 16. And then Malachi Moore, I think, pound for pound, he's probably Alabama's best freshman on the defensive side, right? He's really starting to shine at that star position. We saw a little bit of Brian Branch come in. I thought, he needs some more time. And then there's there's plenty of other, defensive players that are also freshmen that we just haven't seen quite yet. But I get what you're saying. I mean, it's a very talented class. And even those sophomores that are playing, I mean, you look at Christian Harris, you look at Jordan Battle, those guys are already contributing at a very high level. So I get what you're saying. And Nick Saban said something very interesting. And Kevin, you brought this up, about, playing your best players at, the kick return or the punt returner position. Nick Saban said, you hate to lose a guy like that on a play, on a kickoff return. And I think, in kind of in hindsight, he wants Jalen Waddle to be that explosive guy. But, I think he's going to have a hard time with that because he knows that he has other guys that are capable to move the football in a situation like that for kick return. Like you said, Trey Sanders or, and maybe even a Slade Bolden, right? I mean, he's the backup guy. Maybe put him back there. There's plenty of guys, is my point. And Jalen Waddle needs to be fresh and stay healthy. So huge blow losing Jalen Waddle. What else you got, Kevin?
Well, I'm just trying to do my math, and maybe, Bone would be able to assist you with this, and that is when it comes to the class of 21, is the number, because, hopefully Kool-Aid will commit tomorrow. Will the magic number as far as for the 21 class be 3 or 4 spots? And as far as Sopsher leaving, would that affect as far as possibly having an open spot or not?
That's a good question. I think it's going to be 3. Because you have there's another player who like a gray blue shirted or something like that, or gray shirted. I think it was one of
the tight end. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So he's going to be added to this class. So I think it's actually 3. So I was talking with Bone and we're kind of looking at the situation. So if Kool-Aid does commit, I think there's, maybe 2 or 3 additional spots, and we can talk more with Bone on that, but I think it's pretty tight. And I think from, talking with Bone, I think, they have their eyes set on, obviously Kool-Aid and Terrence Arnold, who I really like. I mean, the guy I think on the secondary position is big time, but they already have a bunch of secondary guys. But I think to answer your question, I think, spots are tight, and I would think it's probably going to be like 3 more is probably that magic number. But as you said, things can change with guys entering the transfer portal. And one thing you got to know too, with this transfer portal, just because a guy entered the transfer portal doesn't mean he's gone. How many times do we see Scooby Carter enter then exit? Enter then exit? It's like, they like to kind of dip out, but they're not officially gone until they like said, look, I'm out, I'm transferring to this school. So I think the writing's on the wall with Sopsher, which is unfortunate because I think that he could be productive in this system if he just waited his time. But, if it's something best for the kid and, it's not working out, then, that's up to everybody's, own opinion, and everybody's got to make their own moves. Kevin, final thought, man, take it.
Plain and simply, I just want to get out of next weekend unscathed as far as injuries. And as far as give the players the opportunity to get healed as far as over after the Mississippi State game, because I really believe that Bryce as well as the underclassmen will be able to get them some good run as far as next weekend. But just as far as full speed ahead once we get to LSU that second weekend in November. Thanks for taking my call, Kyle. And hey, you take care and have a blessed weekend now.
All right. You too, Kevin. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the dialogue. Kevin from Georgia, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, everybody have a blessed Sunday. I hope you guys have a fantastic day with your family. I'm going to be around for a little bit more. I got some more calls to take, and then I'll probably dip out here pretty soon, but I got time. So I'm not going anywhere. Remember, fam. All right. This deal's not going to last long. It's a flash sale. Get an annual subscription to BamaInsider.com. Just $12. Look, it's $99 regularly. giving it away for $12. Deal will not end long. The deal actually ends tomorrow night. So, do what you got to do to go get that $12 subscription, annual subscription for just $12. Pretty ridiculous deal. Won't last long, so take advantage of it. All right, on with our next caller, and we're going to take it right now. Hey, thank you very much for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Kyle, what's up, man? This is Sam from Alabama, dude.
Sam, what's up, man? Thank you very much for being patient and staying on the line, man. We talked this morning. We're talking tonight. I appreciate all the support, man. What are your takeaways from Alabama's victory over Tennessee today?
Garbage truck workers convention, brother.
You called it before.
Look, man. Go ahead. What you say?
You called that before. You said that this morning. You said it was going to be you. You had me ask you why you hated Tennessee. You rattled it off, and you were spot on from the get-go.
Yeah, I still can't stand those guys, man. Hey, just going off this morning, I said that the guys need to pay attention to the running backs and the tight ends. Running backs, as far as running backs coming out of the backfield, they weren't a non-factor today. Tight ends, I think he caught one pass. I think I also told you that the corners will probably get more work today than they have gotten work all season, and they did because that's what Garantano do. He goes downfield. Yep. He's going to throw the ball downfield, try to get some chunk yardage. That's what he do. Just to start off with, man, kicking game. Not much complaints there. Will Rock is the man. Other than the kickers, they seem like they seem like most kickers that come to Alabama seem like they kind of fold under pressure. Will Rocker do not, man. He seemed like he just welcomes that opportunity. He's big for us, man, and I appreciate the fact that we were able to have somebody like him on our side. Let's see. Offensively, the loss of Water was big. It was big today, man. It was just it's just unfortunate that something like that could happen to a guy that goes out there and just plays hard every day. It was a big weapon for us. Today, he had 3 touchdowns. I think he should have had 4. I think the referees missed that one touchdown that he should have had. Slade Bolden, he did pretty good today, man. But he dropped the touchdown and he fumbled. But overall, I give him a plus. Defensively, you got defensively they played better. I think they had like 5 or 6 3-and-outs. So that is a plus, So I got to give them credit for that, Even though, there's still some weaknesses in our defense. We still got to work on and work through. Malachi Moore he's maybe the busiest defensive back that we have on the field. When I say busiest, I mean this guy he's making tackles. He's around the football. He's getting interceptions. When you're doing that, man, you become a special player, man. That means that you're in the right spot at the right time.
Malachi Moore, I was talking with Trey during the game. Like, Malachi Moore is literally everywhere. I mean, the kid plays fantastic for a true freshman. I like his physicality. I think he's good in coverage. Yeah, he makes mistakes, but he also plays opportunistic. You look at the fact that he has 2 interceptions this year, and then the strip, that was him on the strip, and that was a scoop and score all on him. Nobody else stripped it. So that's heads up football, and coming in as a true freshman and playing like that, it's clear why he's playing, and what Nick Saban saw that during the preseason, and I really like Malachi Moore as well. I brought up the stats as you were talking about the special teams. You're the first caller, and we're on with Sam from here in Alabama. And zoom this out for people to see. You kind of look at the the kicks for Will Reichert, 2 good kicks. So on the year, I believe he has 6 for 6, and I think you're right. I mean, he kind of comes in as kind of that alpha that wants the challenge, and I like that from him. An important note tonight, fam. Charlie Scott, J.K. Scott's younger brother, was the punter, the lone punter to make the trip. And he punted twice for 69 yards. It's an average of 34.5, pretty much the same as Sam Johnson, 2 inside the 20. So give him credit there. But I don't know if Alabama has certainly found their punter. And, we still haven't seen Ty Perine. And every time Nick Saban's asked about Ty Perine, it's like he doesn't even know who he is. What else you got, Sam, as we kind of wind the – have you noticed that? They ask him, and he's like, who? Every single time. So, every time. What else you got,
Well,
Sam?
what's his name? You say –
Ty Perine.
What was the punter name? Scott?
The punter tonight was Charlie Scott.
Charlie Scott. Yeah, well, he wasn't. He didn't have to punt the ball very far. He just needed to keep it inside the 20 or the 10-yard line. That's all he was trying to do because, we had been moving the football on him. I'm kind of like with a lot of the other callers, man. And like I said earlier this morning, I was like, they got to find somebody on defense that's going to help lead this team, that's going to take over this defensive team and inspire these other guys to play better and step up and play better. Dylan Moses, like I said, Dylan Moses is he's supposed to be a leader, but he's not, it doesn't appear that he's kind of stepping up into that role. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but, like a lot of the other callers, they have to get more guys out on the field, man. What about King Makuta and Jerez Parks and some of these guys? We don't know what they can do if you don't put them out there. I know Kirby Smart. I remember when he was here at Alabama, they played a lot of guys, man. They played a lot of guys and they were deep and they got experience. That's what Kirby is doing now on his defense at Georgia. He's playing a lot of guys, regardless if they're, young or not. He's playing a lot of guys, giving them the experience, get them acclimated to, being out there on the field. I remember when C.J. Mosley was a freshman in 2010. They used to bring C.J. Mosley in the game in 2010 as a freshman for special situations, passing down. Yeah. I kind of related it to baseball analogy. When playing baseball, you at the bat, they say, well, you focus on the fastball and adjust to the other stuff. Yeah. Bringing those other guys and have them focus on, passing situations, or when they get ready to pass the football, have them focus on that and adjust to it, like the running play. Have those guys come in and just, fresh and get some opportunities because, we're going to need them down the line because, you don't want to wear your defense down, but that's all I got to say, man. I appreciate your call. And I just want to say before I get off, man, last week it was just an honor to be a part of Bama Insider After Dark program, man. It was just an honor. I just wanted to say that, brother.
Hey, man, you got a spot anytime, Sam. So I appreciate the dialogue. I hope you have a blessed Sunday with your family. And, it's a good thing that we are able to get together and have dialogue about college football, man. So thank you for being patient, for waiting to get on the line. And you go do your thing. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. And we'll catch up with you next time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Cal. Have a good one, brother.
You too, Sam. All right, my buddy Sam in Alabama. I appreciate it. All right, I'll take a couple more calls and then I'll call it for the evening time. I'm gonna hang out with my family as well. Flash sale, take advantage of it. Deal ends tomorrow night. Get an annual subscription at Bama Insider for just $12. And I'm sure if you've been, wondering about what behind the paywall is, you can find out right now for just $12. The staff brings it. Tremendous coverage from our team at BamaInsider.com. Really proud of the work that they do behind the scenes. And you can get the subscription right now for $12. Love to have an opportunity to earn your business. And thank you very much for, joining us tonight here on the call-in show. A couple more calls to get through. I'll take, a couple more calls and then we'll end it out. Hello, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from? They waited like such a long time to do that, and it's not even effective.
Hello.
Yeah, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Good evening. Where are you calling from, and who am I on the line with?
This is Ed in Salt Lake.
Hey, what's up, Ed? Thank you very much. Usually when you call, man, it's like we're already in the next day and you're still in another day, you know, because we've been doing SEC After Dark. But tonight we still have some time, man. So thanks for calling in. What's your take on the game from over there in beautiful Salt Lake?
Well, I'm not going to be as long-winded. I'll just get to a few points and let you go because I know you're itching to get back with the family there. One thing I want to talk about is I have a few concerns on the defense. I think the pass rush has been a question all year. And I don't see any, I don't know, the physicality that we need. You know, we're going to get away with it now, but I'm looking ahead. I think we're going to be a lock for the playoffs. But that's where the Waddle injury is really going to kill us because you need a player like him in big games. You need playmakers like that. And, you know, he can house it anytime he has the ball. And with that loss, that's a huge factor when you're playing a team that's as good as you are. But to finish it up, I mean, look at the games today. Penn State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and Penn State and Indiana. And then, you know, Minnesota and Michigan got a good game going right now. And this is why we watch, man.
Who's
college football?
Can you give me a score update if anyone's out there? Because I love to watch the games as well. But I want to update, if you guys can, in the comment box on Michigan and Minnesota, and then who won the Oklahoma State Iowa State game. Do we know?
Oh,
cool. Thanks, Roll Tide.
the Oklahoma State won 24.
Oklahoma State
24-21.
Oh my goodness, the spread was 3.5. Unbelievable. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, the Penn State Indiana game was wild, man.
So Indiana won that game, right?
Yeah, on a 2-point conversion in overtime, barely. You'll see it. It was magical. That's the game of the day.
Okay, cool. No, I think you bring up a good point. I mean, regarding Jalen Waddle, I mean, it's such an unfortunate injury. He's the guy that has that home run ability. And I keep rewinding to what I saw last year during that Auburn game, how he just really took over. I know Alabama didn't win the game, and I know Alabama fans don't like to rewind to that game very much. But what I saw from him was just pure magic. You know, it's like that's the kind of guy that we see on Sundays. That's the kind of guy you want on your fantasy football team. And it goes past that. It's not just about Jalen Waddle. It's about every single athlete. We've all been athletes. We've all played. We all know people who get hurt and have these type of injuries, and all the work that goes into it for these young men. You know, your heart just goes out to them because it's not only about them. It's about their families. It's about the team. And, you know, to lose somebody like that, man, it's just it's really sad, man, just straight up. But thank you so much, Ed. I appreciate you being patient. You calling in from beautiful Utah. I'm from the West too, man. I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I've been to Utah many times, and it's such a beautiful state. So I appreciate you giving us some dialogue tonight. And please call again anytime.
Yeah, thanks, man. Take care.
All right, take it easy. That's my good friend Ed from Utah. Utah is so beautiful. I appreciate it. All right, next caller. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from? Hello?
Q from Brooklyn.
Q, what's up, man? Go ahead. You're on, man. Take it away, buddy. It's so good to hear from you, man. Hey,
light them up.
Q, can you turn your volume up, Q, just a little bit? Can you try to turn your volume up?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, that's great right there. Hey, Q, before we get going, I know you're out in Brooklyn, so will you do me a favor? And I don't ask favors from you other than, you know, the prayers at the end. But I was there. I saw from one of my friends who actually lives in Brooklyn that there's a New Mexico inspired restaurant out in Brooklyn. So if you could research that and go check it out and have like, you know, some red chili enchiladas or something like that and report back to me on the next show, I'd appreciate it. So New Mexico inspired.
Check it out this week.
Check it out. And it is cool. They got like New Mexico flags and, you know, stuff from probably like Santa Fe, and they got like stuffed sopapillas and stuff. So definitely check it out and then report back. Cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man.
We got an agreement.
What you got from the game tonight, Q?
Man, light them up if you got them. Smoke them if you got them, man. If the streak continues, man, this defense, man. What's Freddie Roach doing with this defensive line? He has to do a better job with coaching them. You can't blame the players. You got to blame the coach. And Freddie Roach is the coach of the defensive line, so he has to come better. You can't blame Pete Golden. I mean, Dylan Moses is playing worse than the economy Bush handed over to Obama. That's how I see that defense. But other than that, that offense, hey, Steve got to let Bryce come in and throw the ball around and have fun sometimes, man. Let him do what Mac is doing. Let's see what he can do. This next couple of weeks is really going to be tough for us because, you know, Mississippi State, there's always injuries when it comes to Tennessee and Mississippi State. I promise you, if you look it up, if you go back to games, you'll notice that every time we have injuries between Mississippi State and Tennessee every year. This is the problem, and it's not even that bad. This is the first major injury we had with Jalen Waddle, sadly. I mean, we'll see him on Sundays playing, God willing. Let's not go wood on that. But other than that, I mean, we got to do a better job on the defense. That's really where it's going to hurt us. And our receiving core, we're going to need some new young. Yeah, I'm with the other callers with letting the other people play. I mean, I'm sorry with Coach Saban. I love you to death, but man, you got to get out of that old way of just keeping your starters in for the whole game and letting them play 2-3 minutes scrubs. It's not proving any development. What's the purpose of them coming to the SEC if you don't get them to play in the all SEC schedule? We've been doing well. I mean, Georgia game, okay, I understand. But every other game, you got to let garbage time be garbage time. Third quarter, yeah, we as fans want to see the new guys play more. That's what we want to see now. You know, I'm with the other callers on that. And I just want to say, man, these next couple games, we're gonna know who's really number one. And we are number one right now, but smoke them up if you got them, because we beat Tennessee again. We don't like the team in the orange. Sorry, Jeremy Pruitt.
Hey, Q, I think you bring up a good point, though, because we've talked about this a lot. And the fact that, you know, it's not even about, you know, in my opinion, like play the players in garbage time, whatever. I think like, and look, who am I to tell Nick Saban what to do? Nobody, right? But I think from an overall developmental standpoint, you got to get these guys reps. And I think for the most part, you know, the second half of this game that we just watched, the fourth quarter was completely dominated by Alabama. Even the second half going in, we all knew what was going to happen, right? Trey, my college buddy, sitting here ready to smoke a cigar like in the third quarter. So the point
I even asked in the comments is like, can I light it up right now at the end of, after that Morrow's number 13's fumble recovery. I asked you in the comments, can I light my cigar now? Because the game's over. You know, because I'm trying to get Nick Saban to understand. He always preached development. You guys got to be developed. Yeah, you're not developing them if they just practicing. If they're just in practice going hard head on hat. You know, that's not development. Get them in game situations. Get the receivers in, because Jalen Waddle did not have to be on kick return or punt return. We already know what he can do there. We only need him there games like LSU. We need him there on important games. Tennessee is the new Vanderbilt. We're not worried about Tennessee. When we see them on the schedule, we know, like, okay, we'll come out because we want to smoke our cigars. But come on, are they really going to give us competition now? They haven't given us competition for the past 5 seasons. So, I mean, for now, Nick Saban got to understand, if you really want to develop your players, you got to get them in game-like situations. And this is the best way to get them in game-like situations. You're playing all SEC competition. You got guys that you recruited last year in the game now as freshmen, true freshmen, getting ahead of the next class because they get the whole SEC schedule. So, I mean, Nick Saban really has to think over his approach to development. And I'm thankful for the strength coach and the doctor, Dr. Ray. They're doing a good job. We only had 1 major injury, knock on wood. LeBron Ray, come on, this is like the second year. I mean, if anything, I want you to sit out this year and come back next year and be 100% healthy and have no injuries. Because as of right now, this is like the 2 years in a row that you've been getting knocked up over little things. The first one was a major one, but this one is an elbow. I mean, let's sit you out for a whole year and see what we could do. That defensive line, Freddie Roach got to come better. Come hard or go home, Freddie.
Hey, Q. All right, man. As we get close to wrapping it up, man, and I'll take my next 2 callers and I'll break out. But Q, do what you got to do, man, and send us away in your special fashion, as I always appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. I just want to first say before I say my prayer out, I want to everybody go get the COVID-19 special that Kyle's giving out. It's the Flash Rush. Get it. It's a COVID-19 special. Like $99, $12. You better go get it as soon as possible. But I want to thank you, Kyle. I want to say God bless America first and foremost. I want to say God bless Coach Saban. God bless Alabama football. God bless me. God bless you, Kyle. God bless the Crimson Tide fan. And roll to 20. We're gonna get the championship. Roll Tide, baby.
All right. Thank you so much, Q. Have a blessed Sunday tomorrow and report back on that restaurant.
I'm going to, you know it. God bless.
All right. Thank you so much, Q. God bless you too, man. All right. My last caller of the night. I'm going to take it right now. Hello. Good evening. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Thank you very much for being patient. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Jonathan from Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you very much, John, for calling in from Houston. You're on the show. Go ahead. Take it.
Well, first of all, just for a moment here, I got to tell you, this afternoon, I'm also a minister here in Houston, and we had a funeral that started right at about 2:30. So I didn't get to see the opening kickoff of the game, and did not know about Jalen's injury until maybe about 4 o'clock when the funeral was over, and had just a brief moment, you know, Kyle, to grab my phone and pull it open. And was pretty disheartened to see the news. I got to watch Jalen here in Houston at Episcopal High School here in Houston, and just never knew, you know, during his high school years that he was going to turn out to be the great athlete that he turned out to be. And then, of course, you mentioned Auburn last year. What a standout game that was for him, and how it left a lot of us, even with the loss, going, wow, we've got something special here. But what is it about with Alabama here lately and losing great athletes like this that's the last time we're going to see them on the field for Alabama? That makes it even tougher, right, Kyle? When, like last year, when Tua goes down in the Mississippi State game, that's the last image we had of him in the crimson and white. And now with Waddle, who just had such an incredible, not only performance on the field, but great personality on and off the field. So that's never easy when one of your favorite players goes down like that, and that's the last image we'll have of him.
Yeah, I know. And I certainly hope it's not a trend. I mean, the way that, and I think as Alabama fans are, I think they're all still kind of reeling from the way Tua, you know, left the program. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to get over a personality as big as he had. And, you know, just the way he represented himself, and then for it to just end like that, I think Alabama fans still hurt from that. And I think they're going to hurt from Jalen Waddle, because you look at, you know, we get it. Jalen Waddle is incredible. We'll see him on Sundays. People will buy his jerseys, but it's much more than that. I think it's the way that these players handle themselves and how they are good role models for the youth, right? And I think that's, you know, something that Saban emulates, because he's really big about mentorship, and that's why it's easy to really follow the lead of these particular players like Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, because they're about hard work, dedication, and showing what it takes to get to that next level. And when you see an injury like this, it's very difficult for us to, you know, conceptualize about all, you know, everything that goes into the hard work that these guys get. I mean, yes, a lot of it is genetics, but also these guys are grinding every single day. And, you know, for us not to be able to see Jalen Waddle, you know, this is the last time that we probably saw him in a crimson or in a white jersey. You know, I think it's disappointing. And, you know, but I do see on the positive side, you know, I think he's going to be okay. And like I said, I think regardless of what happens, I think, you know, for his own family and his future, I think he's going to be playing on Sundays, and eventually he'll have a nice contract, and he'll be taken care of.
Yeah, something tells me, Kyle, he's going to be set here in the next couple of years. But let me ask you a question. Since you kind of brought up money, with an injury like this, it kind of makes me wonder, is it time to start playing some of these guys? I mean, I know they get stipends. I know they get a little bit, but and their scholarships. But Kyle, what's your opinion on that? I've never heard you talk about that. I've been watching. I never called in, but what's your opinion when you watch an injury like that and you see it go down and you know what they risk? What's your thoughts on one day college football players being paid in some fashion?
I think I'd be for it. To be honest, I think, the image likeness, for example, like I always revert to, since I have a really big YouTube channel right here on Bama Insider, I don't see a problem with like a player if he was creative enough, for example, like Najee Harris, right? We saw what he did with the campaign. So he like right now, due to NCAA rules, even though he's built up his channel, he can't take money from it. And he's built that channel up on his own. So I think, if a player is out there and he can be creative and he's still taking care of his athletics and doing his schoolwork, then I think he should be able to dip in that money. And then you look at kind of the sponsorship, realm of it and what's that going to do for the overall team aspect. I don't know. I mean, people would have to really dive into it. But I think if, you could somehow come up with a way to where these players are taken care of and they can make some coin while, they're working hard on their craft, I think I'd be all for it. Eventually, the players that come to Alabama, it's a different scenario because these players are really in a farm league before they go to the NFL, right? A lot of these guys are going to get to the league, but it's going to take some time. But I think, eventually we're going to get to that point to where players are earning some sort of, image likeness. I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to see the NCAA video game brought back. And that was kind of a catalyst to all this because, the players, they were using their image likeness, but the players weren't getting paid for it. We'll probably get there. That's a great discussion for another time, especially kind of during that off season time where we're kind of talking about hypotheticals, but, we'll have to see kind of what happens. But really unfortunate news overall to see Jalen Waddle. I mean, it's just the first play of that game and just heartbreaking stuff, especially to a quality person, really anybody, but of course to Jalen Waddle, who's a fan favorite.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you happen to catch the look at Najee on the sidelines in the last couple of minutes of that game? Did you happen to see that, Kyle?
What was that?
Did you happen to see the facial expression on Najee?
Oh yeah,
there at the end of the ball game?
It was. I mean, he even had that expression before. I mean, it was. He was just crushed. You could tell like emotionally. And I think like we've been talking about Slade Bolden, Javon Baker, Dow Jones Bell, these guys are going to be able to step up and Alabama's going to still have a very productive offense. But I think from an emotional standpoint, like this is a guy, they're with these guys all the time. I just saw an image out there of Jalen Waddle smoking a cigar in the back of an ambulance with his wide receivers. You saw that, right? And it's like, man, like, geez, like from an emotional standpoint.
How do you have a smile? How do you have a How do you have a smile on your face? Like, I mean, that's a great young man to have a smile on his face after what he's gone through. Isn't that impressive to you?
Yeah, I think it comes down to just knowing that, you have a support system. And I think you're a ministry. I mean, how important is just a support system for all of us, right? And for these guys to be like, look, we're going to do this for you, Jalen Waddle. We're going to be here. I think it's all, I think they'll be there. And, he's going to be on the sideline. His presence is going to be there. But, I mean, it's a tough blow to all of college football because I honestly think that he was the most electric and most dynamic player in college football. I get it. Smitty's doing a lot of work, but there's just nobody like Jalen Waddle.
Pound for pound, as Coach Hughes says, the greatest athlete in college football was Jalen Waddle, and we're going to miss him. But hey, Kyle, I've really watched your program grow over the last year, and first time to call in, but really enjoy it, man. You do a great job. Keep up the great work, and let's keep this thing growing.
All right, thank you very much. I hope you have a blessed Sunday with your family.
Hey, same to you, brother. Take care.
Take it easy. All right. All right, fam. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight after the Alabama's victory over Tennessee. We got tons of coverage back on BamaInsider.com. If you guys could throw me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. I really sincerely hope you guys have a blessed Sunday with your family. Make it a point to, call up those loved ones. It's never a bad time to tell somebody you care about them. Thoughts and prayers out to Jalen Waddle. It was a big victory for the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got tons of coverage back at BamaInsider.com. The Nick Saban press conference along with Jeremy Pruitt right here on our YouTube channel. Remember, before I go, please take advantage of this flash sale that we got going on right here at BamaInsider.com. Just $12 for 1 year. The promo code is BAMA12. It'll help our business continue to grow. And I love just the opportunity to earn your business. You know, you guys know I'm a grinder. I love what I do. I'm sincerely blessed to cover the Alabama Crimson Tide. I never thought, you know, growing up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, that one day I'd be covering, the greatest dynasty in college football under Nick Saban. And I'm really blessed to be here. So $12 for 1 year, you get access to everything on BamaInsider.com. The regular price is $100. So go take advantage of it. Hit the thumbs up on this video, and we'll catch you next time. I'll have my observations probably midday tomorrow from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. My name is Kyle Henderson. Thank you very much for watching the post-game call-in show right here on BamaInsider.com. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.